Yes, folks, and welcome to Friday evening here in Texas, and welcome to Chelsea Family BBQ. I'm here with my good friend Josh. Josh, how's it going, my man?
Hey man, I'm doing all right. It's Friday. Can't really complain. Got a big game tomorrow. Big 3 points on the line.
And,
Uh,
and yeah, and as I
Doing well.
understand it, you ain't got a eh, you ain't got a job and you ain't shit to do today, huh?
Yeah. I was off today, so it was just one of those rare days off. Got to just relax a little bit. So
That's awesome. Everybody needs those kinds of. Yeah, mine was this week was week 5. We do 5-week courses, and so everybody has to be passing by the end of week 5. So
right.
this week was a shit show for me, man. It's
Yeah, yeah.
you
It's
know,
it's it's busy. It's like and I'm not like somebody who don't do a lot of like planning of time off. So kind of just take days when you can get them. And this was like my first day off in a minute. So
yeah,
yeah, no, it's
that's
good.
awesome. Did you have some? Did you have an inner? Be honest now. Did you have an inner? One or two?
No, not yet. No, not today. I save those for the weekend. So
Okay.
tomorrow during the game will be noon. Will be a perfect time to enjoy the game. So yeah, no, it's looking forward to tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And you know, we've had a kind of a rough time with injuries late as of late. Of course, Koulibaly out, Fofana, James, Conte, and so we're in the walking wounded this weekend with only if you consider if you can consider Ashby as a center back, maybe 3 fit center backs. I don't, that'd be the same if you consider Kukurea a center back, which I don't.
Right,
We really,
right,
really has only 2 fit center backs. Let's be honest.
right. Yeah, I mean, you could consider Asby like what they would like consider here in the States in football, like an emergency quarterback. Like
Right.
he's like your
Third
emergency
string
center back.
quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah, like if your other two center backs get hurt, like he's the guy you got to bring on because at least he can you know knows the position a little bit. So uh, yeah, no, I don't think he's. I know we had talked about this a little bit this morning. Like I don't think he'll start tomorrow. Um, I think he'll be kind of what he's been the last couple of weeks, or just like a late game guy to try to come on and maybe hold a lead down or something. But yeah, no, I don't think he'll start tomorrow. But yeah, he is what you would consider. Yeah, you could put him in the numbers of maybe a healthy center back option.
Right. Center back slash right back. But
Right,
again, you could see only 2 traditional center backs on the roster at this point.
right, absolutely.
Um, it doesn't look very good. Especially when you consider that one of them is 38
Yeah,
and really don't need to be playing him on
week in
short
and week out.
rest.
Yeah,
And, you know, I always thought that the plan would be to play him regularly until the World Cup to make sure he keeps his form. And then
yeah.
after the World Cup, kind of maybe using him more in reserve, bringing him on in key moments. There's Big Wayne in the comments. What's going on, Wayne? But I
He's just invaluable, right? Like you can't really take
you
him off.
can't drop him because number one,
Yeah,
we don't have another center back.
right. Well,
So
you know what? I think normally, right, if everyone's fit and healthy, this is obviously a game that he probably gets rested. That's why I think they gave him that day off of training to sort of be his day off of football kind of thing.
he probably
Uh,
had to go get an adjustment too, falling on
yeah,
his
yeah.
neck
Go
like
take care
that.
of go take care of the body a little bit.
He had to
Just
go
like
get a massage.
yeah, get off your feet a little bit just for the day. That way he can play on a shorter notice. Where if we were healthy, he normally probably wouldn't play.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. He's a warrior. I think he'll be just fine tomorrow. Uh, and we'll just make it work with what we've got right now, which I've actually been playing pretty good defensively. So
Yeah, look, there's no complaints that can be had. Look, we all can. We'll just state the obvious: we aren't playing great football, but we're getting results.
yeah,
Right? That's hello, Captain Obvious. We're not playing our best, but we're getting results.
yeah, been
And
defensively way more solid.
yeah, absolutely. And of course, would I rather us be putting it together now and getting to our pump later on in the season to close the thing out, finish strong? Hell yes. Whereas let's talk about the flip side. You come out the gates out of nowhere because you didn't add a lot to your team, and the people you did bring in already know the system. So you look at this man. Come on. First thing he says is link. You want a sausage link? Maybe we we're yeah. I'll get you the link here in a minute, bro. Just kidding with you. But
yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Like, you want to hit your stride later in the season, no question about it. I mean, we sort of did that a little bit last year, right? We were in top of the table at this point in the season last year, and we saw how that ended with injuries and how things can change. And then the same boat goes for this season. Like we've got we're not playing poorly to where we're dropping points, but we're playing consistently week in and week out. We're sort of staying right there, staying close within a game or two. And then hopefully, in the second half of the season, you hit your stride, and that's when you put together your win streak.
Yeah, definitely so. And the other team I was trying to describe there, English is hard today, is of course what Arsenal's doing.
Right. Absolutely.
It's like they win it. It's the old story that the old joke that hold on, my guy. What's up, Alex?
Big out people.
What's going on?
What's going on? So the old story is, right? It's the daddy bull and then the baby bull, and they're sitting on top of the mountain, and below them on this field was nothing but heifers, right? And so the baby bull turns to the papa bull and goes, "Dad, let's run down there and fuck as many of those heifers as we can, as fast as we can." And the daddy bull looks at the baby bull and goes, "No, son, let's go down there and take our time and fuck them all." So
I heard that somewhere.
So, not the idea of bad joke there, but that's what Arsenal's done. They've come out the gate flying with a really light squad, if you want to really think about it. And they're going to run out. They're going to hit a brick wall. And when
to me, it's like they're an injury or two away from being in a lot of trouble from a squad standpoint.
Yeah.
Well, people are saying that they're dropping the pace. Like you can see the pace is not as aggressive, pressing and stuff. There could be a truth to it.
Jesus, if you look at Jesus has sort of really struggled and leveled off the last few weeks. Like
5 games. Last 5 games, he wasn't the same.
Yeah, so I mean, like, there might be one of they're not in a position where they can really have Jesus be poor. Like, they need those guys to play. So, we were in a similar situation maybe a little last year where we were like around December, we got really bad injuries and dropped some points. Hopefully, it's the opposite for us this year. We can sort of just stay right there and through December, and then first half of next year, really start to put together a nice little charge.
And yeah, look, again, I'd rather be us at this point, not playing the best football, but getting the results we need to get, because it will eventually come together. First of all, you got to get Fofana back in the mix. You got to get James back in the mix. And you got to get Conte, because they all bring something special. We have the best right back in football. He's got to stay fit. Because when that guy's on the pitch, we're a different team.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately, he's only played 30 games or something out a year. That's what he averages.
It's like, it's not ideal, right? Would have your best player be like one of your most injured players, and we have maybe two of our best players that are injured players all the time. So, it's really luckily those things are not like super long-term injuries as far as like for us this season, but definitely need both those guys back and playing regularly. No question.
Yeah, it's just a different team with Reese there because he gives you so much balance. Because you could play, but the two options we really have over there, even if we're talking about Ruben, is offense or defense. Ospie is basically defense over there. Pulisic or Ruben, if you put on there, are mainly offense. They're Ruben's better defensively than Pulisic, but he's not Reece James level. When you have Reece James there, you have offense and defense. You don't have Trent. You have Reece James. And so I think it makes our team a whole lot more solid and balanced and more effective in attack and just overall. And so he's a huge miss. And so, again, you could arguably say he's one of the most valuable players on our team. And maybe in attack, as a creative player, the most valuable on our team. Because who else is going to create from that midfield on a regular basis, which is half our issue, is the creation from the midfield.
And sometimes it's who's going to create in the front three, right? So like sometimes it's maybe 1/3 of that front three who's responsible for also doing some creating. And if they don't do their job, then we really can struggle. So you got to make it. I think Potter's still trying to find like a healthy balance of who plays who plays good with who can play in what positions, and then hopefully he'll get a nice sample size to be like so I think right now he's seen enough. Like I don't think I can play Cucurella and Chilwell together. Like they've done it twice, and both had to come off or had to be changed basically at halftime and before halftime both times. So maybe once he gets enough of a sample size of guys in certain positions, you'll see a little more consistency and like fluidity with that group. Because I think when it comes to our front three, you got to rely on somebody to create. It's not going to be Aubameyang; he's a finisher, and then you're hoping it's Sterling or Mount, I guess, at this point, if that's your front three. So, and if those guys aren't doing that, then you're going to struggle offensively.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely correct. The problem is, even in that front three that you just named, does Mount create when he's playing as a forward? Really, he's better. He's better when he's playing as a 10.
He creates, but he doesn't create enough for the statue of standards of Chelsea.
Yeah,
those numbers have to. He has to create a lot more. He creates more than other players. But that still it's still not enough. Creation, it doesn't matter who. Like you compare him to Kai Havertz, of course he's not. They're like twin peaks, like twin.
They're twins.
The chocolate thing that two pieces of shit in the same pocket, in the same. You know what I'm saying? So, I like Mount, I like Kai Havertz, but they need to. It's not like.
Perform.
They don't. It's not. I don't know how to explain it.
Well, we rely on them, right? They're the two guys we like that we rely a lot of our game on. So when they're not firing, we're not firing offensively. When they're playing well, we play well. Like, and this season, it's been way too inconsistent that either one is playing well. So therefore, we have sort of struggled a bit offensively. If those two are firing, then I think Chelsea are firing at that point. But we're really relying on the two of them, and I think that's something we have to like. Maybe try to fix, through.
We also don't have the forwards that can score with small amount of chances.
Right.
Aubameyang's supposed to be that guy.
Yeah. Well, he actually does it, but
lately,
game was one of them. But otherwise, he does put it away.
Yeah.
But you can predict what annoys me the most when Kai Havertz and the Mount play. What the biggest problem for me. It's not about even playing. For me, it's they occupy same freaking space.
Yeah.
They go into the sides together. Like if we're attacking, they both in the same space. That means that Aubameyang has to drift to the left.
Yeah.
That means that Sterling. Exactly. They have to go opposite way, so those two cannot be separated. You see what I'm saying?
I can't remember what match it was. I brought up the heat map or the positional the most common positions or the average positions that players took up, and Mount and Havertz were almost right on top of each other.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you probably will put the game when they play together, you can put his heat map and he, she, whatever his, she's map together on top of it. It will be the same he, she's hits basically the spot on the team. And
They're
this is what's
overlapping a
annoying.
lot. That's why I said you can't play them together, because they're going to take up the same spaces. So unless you're going to drop Mount in as an 8 and play Kai Havertz in attack, they don't work. If you play them both in attack, then they're going to do the same thing. Like you said, they're going to be in the same area. And if 2 players are in the same area, it takes less defenders to defend them, because you don't have to have 2 defenders.
Well,
one person can cover them.
Jester,
And that
let
other
me ask you.
Yeah.
What side are we getting at? What side, when James is fit, what side are we attacking for the most?
The right.
Okay, so if
even Salzburg,
Mount,
even Salzburg was down the right most of the game.
So if we're attacking through the right side, and Mount and Kai Havertz are together, and all of a sudden, if we're creating there, so those 2 are there too. Who else is left on the pitch that can create and play?
Yeah.
How easy is to defend against? You know that if one Twinkle did in the same position, there's somewhere is another one. You can cover them both, and we're only attacking from the right side. That's already half of our attack is already done.
Yeah, like I said, it's very, very easy to defend us when those 2 are on the pitch. And you look, for all intents and purposes, Conor Gallagher, Mason Mount, and Kai Havertz's best position are all the same position. It's the
Right.
10/second striker in space, right? You want to have them in space, and then when the ball turns over, they're allowed to press out of that space. That's what they're all 3 good at. You can't play them all on the pitch together, because guess what? They're all going to do the same thing.
Well, and I'd argue
Gallagher is slightly different a little bit. Sorry, Josh. Gallagher is slightly different. Gallagher actually explores the empty space more than
Yes,
Mount.
I was going to say this. Like Gallagher, actually, of all 3 of those, is probably the most creative. I think he created like 3 or 4 chances in that Salzburg game, and like for me, he's just a little bit, because he's a little quicker and he's a little bit better with his head up. Like he's quicker to pick out a pass, and he's quicker. He knows the space really well to like maybe get a shot from, and he plays defense well. I was very impressed with him. I'll say.
What's the guy he played at Crystal Palace all the time? That they create for him. They only create for him. Zaha.
Yeah.
So from coming from the team that only creates from one situation, he knows how to play that way. You see what I'm saying? He looks for the player immediately, because the instruction is you get the ball, look for Zaha.
Yeah,
right.
So you see what I'm saying? So for him, if he gets the ball, he doesn't have idea like, oh, let's move to the, let's go to Kai Havertz. Let's look for Mount. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He goes where the actual immediately he thinks about I need the passes. Yes, I need the pass, and he's not afraid to pass it.
Well, they all do a little different things, but they all are best in that same position.
I hear what you're saying. But that's why I think he worked better with Kai Havertz than Mount does when Havertz plays this, because he's got that a little bit more of a forward thinking mentality, like Alex is saying, than Mount does. Mount would like to maybe pick it up and dribble with it a little bit, run it to a spot before he would play like a quick pass or something, and his head is down often when he dribbles with the ball too. So for me, Gallagher, he just does that position a little bit better, a little bit quicker than Mount, which is why when him and Havertz played against Salzburg, it worked a little bit better than say maybe when Mount and Havertz played that similar role together.
Yeah, and this brings up to maybe this question. Look, and Kunku, for all intents and purposes, unless he goes down with a major knee injury or a major injury, let's just say that, knock on wood. Yes, Nkunku's coming. Sesko, like Wayne says in the comments, is going to RB Leipzig, unless something be worked out to where we buy him and loan him back. I don't know. But I'm not really worried about bringing Sheshko in at this point because I think Broja is at this point is better, and we already own him. That sounded bad, but you understand what I mean. His contract. But there's the question: if you do bring in Nkunku in and Liao this summer, you see Nkunku in that 10 role, that free role we're talking about, or do you see him playing off the wings?
Yeah, I think he's the same position we're talking about, like that Gallagher and Mount sort of play, that in behind the two there, I think is where he would play and thrive at. And then you'd see Liao definitely off the left side there, whether it's in basically like the Sterling role or if we're playing a different formation off the left wing.
Yeah.
But I think to me, what I've seen from Nkunku the most is that's probably his best position, is right in there in behind. He's just that to me. I think that's where he plays best.
I think those kind of players always have like a free to flow in those areas. Doesn't matter it's from the left or from the right. Depends which way the ball is coming. That right behind the striker line, like this, kind of like a bending a little bit. That's where we're free to flow, no matter what's the situation is. So it doesn't matter which ones is where. They still have a what's his name? Like can float in that area. It doesn't make it doesn't. That's why I think the Mount is when he played with Kai Havertz, and that's why it's wrong for them to do it. So maybe that's why we're looking for the players like Nkunku. So actually, a better players for that free flow roles. So maybe that will be fixed. But
yeah. Look, for me, and then this is the thought here. You bring in Nkunku, he's best playing in that space that we've been talking about. So now you've got Nkunku, Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, and Conor Gallagher all play the same position, or they're not all play the same, but the best position they are in is that one in space, that 10, second striker role.
That's not where Gallagher and Mount is supposedly best positions. It's 8, but slightly higher, but not high as 10.
Okay, well, they tend to play as a 10 when they're in that
not
position.
team now, but that does I don't. If a proper way you put it 4-3-3, because I think 4-3-3 and the slight changes and changes in the position, but the base is going to be a 4-3-3 no matter what. I think that's how Potter is going to be playing. So if that's what we're going base for, it's going to be 4-2-1-2-1, or that shifting. It's really up to the game exactly. But I think the base is going to be 4-3-3, and Mount and Gallagher are not going to be as high all the way to go to be beside what's his name, beside a forward like 9s.
Yeah,
you know
you could play a 4-1-2-1-2.
Yeah. So for example, if we get a proper sitter defender, that will free Mount and Gallagher to be playing beside him, because you don't have to be that good press resistant player if you have a good sitter, or the guy that or the guy that knows how to sit, at least knows how to sit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I think that's where Alvarez comes in January. So he comes in. We now have a proper sitter. And for me, look, I know there's been talk of giving Jorginho a contract extension. I don't think there's any reason to give him or Conte a contract extension at all. One can't stay fit anymore, and the other one
stay fit because the other one gets the injuries.
Yeah, well, one can't stay fit, and one just does not have the physical ability to play in the Premier League at a high level. So, look, you have to redo the midfield. We redid the attack and basically the defense in the summer, bar a couple positions, and we are bringing another center back in. Guardiola is coming in too. So
I don't know if he's coming. People keep saying he's coming. I just don't know if he's coming.
I think so, and because they want a left-footed center back, and having him and Fofana as those outside center backs, you could actually play with wingers at wing back because those two are fast enough on the outside. They're as fast as any right or left back, any winger really in almost in the game. They can catch up to any of them. So they will be able to play those spaces, and you'll just have it'll look almost like a singular center back with maybe a six, that's sitting six as well, and then the outside center backs will almost push up and attack like left and right back, and then you're starting to really, once you get in attack, you're really starting to put the clamps on the other team, but you're not really playing a traditional high line.
Yeah, people keep like, where you go? People have a concern where you're gonna play all those players that we are supposedly buying. It's easy. It's always been there's always been how you say it. If you look at the even City's team, it's always been rumors players not happy for sitting on the bench, but at the same time they're sitting on the bench. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it plays like Mahrez. Mahrez walks in any top 4 teams anywhere. He's that good. Bernardo Silva walks in anybody's team, top 4 teams in any league, walks into the starting 11. But they rotate him. He rotates him, and everybody's happy. It depends on the manager. If all those players that we're supposedly buying it, I think we can be all happy. That's all
Here's
that
the
is.
key. It's fine when you're winning.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was gonna say. If you're winning, the bonuses are rolling, you playing. It's not like he doesn't play them. He plays them, and it looks seamless. Like, it's seamless when they how you say it, when they switcheroo. It looks seamless compared to the.
Yeah, again, it's about, if you're winning, you can't gripe. It's when you start losing is when, well, if I got more play time, maybe we would be playing better. That's when that crap comes out. But as long as you're running the league every year, what can you say? And maybe Sterling and Jesus were the ones saying, hey, I need more minutes, and that's why they're not at the club anymore. And
I think it's like even before that, how many years they've been in that club before they finally left?
I don't think like 4. 3
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's not like they were like unhappy for 1 year and that's it, they done. It's not like that. They stayed for 4 years. So it's not like it's how you say it. Anyway, for me, why do you? Hey, it's not up to us. He's the one who decides if he wants to retire or not. Like, do you want me to look at him, find him, and break his knees for him to retire? No, the guy gonna choose for himself, retires or not retires. It's not up to us. I'm pretty sure even if he retires at Chelsea, it doesn't mean that he retires. I think he's gonna go to Brazil and play another season or 2.
Well, I'll put it this way, Mo. You give him a year extension, but he understands that he's not going to be starting every game. Who would you like to bring off the bench to shore up a game on defense? Thiago Silva or Trevor Chalobah? And I didn't name a rubbish player as the other player, because some people think that Chalobah should be going to the World Cup and we don't need any other center backs because he's the man. So I didn't pick a rubbish one. You would still rather have Thiago Silva with all his wisdom and positional sense to shore up a defense than Trevor Chalobah.
Isn't it what actual defenders saying when they talk about Thiago Silva, how he helps them? Even Reece James. Reece James told them that he was Thiago Silva is the one that actually helped him in the defensive transitions and stuff in the practices when he was and stuff like that. So it's all depends on Silva. I'll keep him for another. Does he look like he dropped form? He has the moments in one game that he actually did it, but otherwise, I don't see him. If he will be okay to play important games for Chelsea, like championship leagues, and maybe offer him a coaching role.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That will give him incentive to stay and learn from the coach. If you do that, you happened before when you give it the player and stuff like that, and you tell him like, look, if you will sign another contract after that, we can give you a coaching role and stuff like that. People retire and go, but I don't think he'll retire at Chelsea. I think he'll retire at Brazil. I think he
Palmeiras or
said,
something like that.
yeah, he said that he wants to play final year at the club that he started. So I don't know where is that, but
I think it was Palmeiras. Maybe it's not Palmeiras, and maybe it's the rival club of Palmeiras. I don't know, but you understand what I'm saying.
yeah.
But if he's accepting of a non-starting a squad player role at 39 years old or 38, and then turning 39 during the season for next year, have that option off the bench. Yeah, I'll buy 2 of those because right now his form, you can put it up there with any center back in the Premier League, and I can make an argument that he's better. I don't throw out a name.
I don't actually see him dropping a form even at 39.
No,
Even as many games as he's playing now, I don't see him dropping a form. He does something that he said that he does something new, that he takes care of his body like Ronaldo is. And he actually, people say he's slow. I saw him sprint. He ain't that slow.
Plus, if you know where you need to be, you don't have to run that. What people don't understand. If you're in position, you don't have to run that fast because you're where you're supposed to be.
That example when Kepa was looking for the flies up in the air from that corner and tried to catch the flies with those baby hands and stuff like that. And Thiago Silva, the minute he noticed what he did, he went and defended. That is a proper defending.
You're supposed to do that as a center back. If the keeper's off the line, somebody has to cover. One of the center backs has to cover the line.
If usually fullbacks stay at the lines. What's the name? But the posts, they're the ones that cover. But if the fullbacks are not there, then yes. But usually fullbacks the ones that stay at the line if you play. But we play zonal. We play zonal.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
It's a depends, because it depends what kind of position you play. Because nowadays the opposition setup, it's actually easier to defend. No hustle, no thing with the zonal defending, because the opposition is so strong nowadays, and they set up the blocks when you run in. It's hard to defend. It's hard to defend when you're 1-on-1.
Oh, Mo.
Especially if you have players like Aspilicueta.
I guess Mo brought roast to the barbecue because he's about to get roasted on this. Trevor Chalobah is not a better center back than Wesley Fofana. Okay?
It's not he's not better at defending as a better defender than Fofana. What he's better is right now in the moment. That's the moment.
Yeah.
And Fofana is in a new team. You can't just say that he's better because the guy played 3 games in the team. And all those 3 games, he progressively became better defender. You can't judge him on 3 games at Chelsea, man. It's kind of ludicrous to judge him and compare. Yes, Chalobah, tell you the truth, it's actually proper competition for the position of the center back. This is how the position is supposed to be filled. You're supposed to have a competition between it's same thing that Chubel and Cucurella. Same thing. Both great for the position. Both have to fight for it. That's it.
And right now, I wish we had that on the right-hand side because we would have somebody who could play freaking right back. But
exactly,
can't have everything, right? But no, look, you will find out that Wesley Fofana, number one, he is far faster than Trevor Chalobah. Okay. Number 2, he's been playing center back. There's a difference growing up playing a position than playing one position and then being moved. When you play a position long enough, you gain advantage over somebody who's been transferred to that position because you just gain little insights, little little small things like being in the right position, knowing where the ball is going to go next.
Plus,
knowing-
Fofana played in the center back as a middle of the back three.
yeah,
He doesn't play on the right, so Chalaba has always played on the right. He didn't play in the middle, if I remember
well,
correctly.
Chalaba's also a DM. He was a DM.
He was a DM.
that moved to a center back.
Yeah.
Again, so you don't have some of it's different because you played. If you played in position long enough, you pick stuff up.
I think he played center back, and they played him as DM a few times. I don't think it's actually there.
Well, I think he grew into his body. Is what happened. He was. I think he was smaller, and then he look. He's a full size man now. He's a big dude. I don't think he would.
Oh, he got spun by Liao. Mo, don't lie. He got spun by Liao. Him and James got spun one time together, and one move between Liao and I think it was the first game. Chalaba and Liao got spun together, and
but you can see sometimes if he is starting to get beat, he dangles a leg like a defensive midfielder would. Because at center back, you're supposed to be taught not to take somebody down. But as a defensive midfielder, if you're getting beat, most of the time that's outside the box. You're taught to take the card.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can see he wants to dive in, and it's strewn with him because he can't do that anymore. And that's how he's got those penalties, by the way.
I think recovery. What's the problem with Chalaba? The way he loses possession, the recovery is what's the worrying me, and that's the view of inexperience. The recovery, how you recover when you're defending, that's when you're showing inexperience becomes prime. That's how you've shown that you're inexperienced. How you recover to the ball that you lost or to the you got beat. I think that's how you to best way to show it.
I did not know that Sergio Ramos started out as a right back.
It depends. I did not know that either. I know he was. Look, there's a lot of. Look, I started as a striker. I was moved as a center back because my coach said you're not smart enough to be playing striker. You have attributes to. It's like you have everything, but I cannot control the ball when I was on the fast pace. Like when it's too fast, I cannot control. I think so. He's like, you have the thing better for the center back. So I was moved to the center back, and there's actually a lot of evidence that center backs used to be center forwards. A lot of them. It's because the probably physicality of the players that you start and but. And another thing, I'm both footed. I play with 2 feet, and that's why I was more flexible as a center back. But I love on the left side more than I love on the right. But its transition doesn't really matter. It's I was playing in DM certain games, but that doesn't mean that I could play the DM. And I think that's why Chalaba was. I don't think he was started as DM. I think he actually started as a center back.
I don't know his
I don't know that either.
There was brothers though, because
his brother was midfielder.
I think they were both ended up as. I don't know. I think he's still a midfielder. I think
he's still
booted
is.
The other day. He got a red card somewhere, wherever he was playing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But I think
Nathaniel, is it Nathaniel?
Nathaniel, yeah. But anyway, that doesn't really matter where he started, where he is. Chalaba plays great at the moment, and it's like everybody else on that Chelsea team. You play at the moment good. Let's not make it too big of a steps. Play the way you play, and we'll do it. Josh, you here because I gotta go. I noticed that you left, and I didn't want to leave Jester by himself.
Yeah,
I gotta go.
good. I'm back.
I'm actually going to play football. So
well, don't break a leg.
Yeah.
Please don't, because I'm already falling apart. Because anyway, getting old. It sucks.
Hey.
I tell you that.
Hey, preaching to the choir, my guy. Preaching to the choir.
I'll see you later, guys. Y'all enjoy it.
All right, later.
Peace.
Yeah. To that point, you know how I knew the weather was changing? My shoulder told me. Because I have a screw in my shoulder, and it was like, hey, by the way, you're not going to have a good day. The weather's changing. So yeah. Yeah, Brian, let me get you the link real quick.
What were you guys doing? You guys were comparing Chalaba and Fofana? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Oh Lord.
Yeah, I mean, I think Fofana to me is a better player, absolutely. Just like overall, but Chalaba is a very underrated center back. He is a really good center back. As I have some people like to say he's shaky on the ball. For me, I don't think he really is. If you look at his numbers after these games, he's getting about 70 to 100 touches per game, and he's passing the ball at around a high 90% clip, which is an impressive number for a center back. And I think he's maybe awkward because he's tall, so it looks a little different when you're watching him. But to me, he's been strong on the ball. Does he get maybe a little higher out of position sometimes, occasionally? Yeah, and sometimes guys get in behind, but he usually does a pretty good job of making up for that. But I think overall, Wesley Fofana, the skill set I just absolutely love. He does everything that I like in a center back. I've been a huge fan of his at Leicester. I didn't think he was a guy that would be possible to get. So the fact that we got him, I was really happy. I think he's just absolutely fantastic. So I think it's a great problem to have, man. They're both capable of getting you a result in any given game. So
Yeah, definitely so. And hey, the man with the correct name, Mr. Latimus Prime with Prime Cuts. What you got to say, my guy?
What's up, people? Can you guys hear me?
Yep, we got you.
yeah, you're good, bro.
Cool. I love that. Yeah, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of the guy. I think he's just okay. Like, he's an average center back. However, he has been performing very well this season, and I always, regardless of my personal feelings on players, I will give them the respect when they play well, and if they don't play well, I will call it out. And he's playing very well. He's been one of our best players this season, which I'm happy about. I'm one of the few fans who wanted to keep him back in the summer because of how low we were in centre back depth. Yeah, he's performing well. Who knows let's see what level he can actually improve to in the future. But being around Thiago Silva definitely does help him.
Yeah, definitely so. Good Lord. I'm missing chats and everything.
Yeah. Actually, Josh, was it you that said, I was watching Lewis' stream, was it today? You said your ideal back three and you put Fofana in the center of it, yeah?
Yeah, long term. I think I've seen this season when in the limited minutes that he played and Thiago didn't play. That's where they put him, and I think he's so good on the ball that I think that'd be a great place for him. He's learning the game still, which is good, and he's learning from the best. So in that aspect, I'm glad he's at where he's at right now. But I think long term, that's probably where they see him. Especially if they bring in Vardiol and they bring in and they have Fofana and they still have Koulibaly. You could have Koulibaly and Chalaba rotating on the right, and you've got Vardiol on the left with Colwell, and then you've got Fofana in the middle long term. So I like that potential depth in the future.
Who when was that? I don't remember him playing in the center.
Yeah, listen, I don't have that kind of game to game memory, but it was early in the season in one of Thiago's first rest games where they gave him a rotation.
Was it a Champions League game?
He played in the center of the back three. It might have been a Champions League game. I'd have to look.
Was it when we played Zagreb? Okay, my bad. Yeah, when we played Zagreb, yeah, fair enough. I thought Koulibaly played in the center. My bad. Yeah, he did. Fair enough.
Big up, Wayne. What you got to say?
Oh, not much. Just I want to come and join my fellow Americans and have a chill time, have a chat about football. Because obviously, one theory of mine is obviously I've been busy all day, but I had a little look. So about Silver didn't train.
Yeah, he's fine.
Is he fine? Because that worried me. Because I was thinking if Silver's not fit, how are we going to play in that defence? Because obviously we have got shorter numbers there at the moment. So
Yeah, I don't know if they would use Zakaria as an emergency center back, considering they don't think he's strong enough to play in the Premier League. I think what you would see was Trevor Chalobah at center back with Cucurella on the left and Aspie on the right. That's what you would see.
Ooh, I don't listen. I don't, anyone but Chalobah in this, or but Thiago in the center of that three is shaky for me.
Yeah, if
Well,
that,
yeah, but
I
if
think
he was
I
injured
think
and not
Chalo,
available,
and I think
is what
he's
we're
played
saying.
there this season as well in a game that Thiago rested after the
Yeah,
injury.
he did.
So
And to be
that's
fair, he
probably
was all right, but
that's
I
probably
still
where
prefer
that's
Thiago
probably
Silva.
yeah. If Thiago were to be out, that would probably be the back three. I think Thiago is just fine, so I think it'll be Cucurella, Thiago, and Chalobah.
I think maybe he was a little stiff from falling on his neck and back, and he probably was Bell probably hooked him up with a nice massage, and dude just took the day off.
What the Fator type of massages?
No, Bell, his wife. I don't know what type of massages Fatur gets, so I ain't gonna go there.
Yeah, well, like that's what I was thinking earlier, is that this is probably a game normally if we had our healthy center backs that he would be rested for.
Mm-hmm.
And since he's going to have to play on a quick turnaround, they just gave him a day off to do some recovery, do some stuff on the body, and just keep him away from football for a day, just to manage him. And I think that's probably, I think Potter has left that up to him this season to let us know, like, hey, if you need a day away, just let us know. We'll take, and we'll let you kind of be the one to you'll let us know how your fitness levels are at. So it is what it is. I definitely expect to see him tomorrow. He always plays.
are you guys worried about the game tomorrow against Brighton at all?
I'm personally not. Look, we're not playing our best, but we're winning, and I feel we're going to get the same tomorrow. Brighton's not the same since Potter left. They're not really doing anything differently, but they have types of people, and I'm going to equate this to Arsenal because I just like to be a dick. They have people that for a run of games can get you goals, but over a course of the season, they'll regress to the mean, which means the mean is the average. And so if you've never scored 20 goals, 25 goals consistently in the Premier League, don't think you're going to be going to a different team and going to do that, right? Yes, there are exceptions to that rule, but everybody goes to the mean. And Jesus, they got Danny Welbeck in the Jesus position. But Trossard's not been known as a great scorer of the ball through his career. So, yes, he can get you a run of games where he gets you a goal or two, but he ain't going to do it consistently. That's just like Arsenal's front line. Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus have never been consistent in their careers. We think they're going to do that this year? Playing together without anybody like a Kevin De Bruyne? Or somebody that can put them in the best position? No, they have to work very hard for what they get, and when you work that hard, your legs end up getting tired and fatigued. And it's not like they're going to just be dropping. It's just the 50-50 ball that they would have got in the first 10 games. They won't get in the next 10 games because they'll be a step slow, and that's all it takes. Football's just like any sport. It's a game of inches. It's a game of who wants it more. And if you're just that inch short, because the fatigue is taking enough out of your legs, you lose the game. And so that's what you'll see from, I think Brighton's going through that now. There are supposed attackers which again are Welbeck and really Trossard, because the kid they had to retire because of heart issue.
Oh yeah,
Mwepu.
when Pope, yeah, where they got Gross now, ain't they? Playing up front a lot at the moment. Is it Pascal Gross?
Yeah, but he's still. You're just saying just listen to the names you're saying.
Does Billy Gilmore start tomorrow?
No, he doesn't start
No.
now.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know, but you know how they do that sometimes. They'll throw a guy in against his old team.
Josh, the real question is: has Billy Gilmore started this season?
No.
I don't think he started. No.
No.
Hey, hold that, Gilmore. I love you, but hold that. Same with Colwell. Hold that, both of you.
Well, if it's
Now-
true that like Todd and the guys told him before, like, hey man, like you don't have to leave if you maybe pump the brakes give it a week or two. Let's see how it goes, and he still wanted to leave, and then ultimately, gets permanently moved. And then Potter leaves. Like that would just be insanely.
Bowley knew even then he was getting sacked too. He was like, "Hey, this guy's getting sacked in a few weeks. Just wait."
Without saying, it's disappointing. It is what it is. I don't think. I just saw somebody a post earlier today where it was like a picture of him, like, will we see Gilmore tomorrow? And I do think he might come on at some point, but he doesn't. I don't think he starts for them.
I have heard rumors about Gilmore that he has been spotted in the farmer's garden. He's a little garden gnome, so 5'5". Sorry, I shit that big.
Well, that's one of those things about that young kid, that young Jobby Simmons kid. Like he's a good young player, but he's only he's 5'5", 5'4". He's a small kid.
That's fine in attack. Defense, not so much.
Yeah, but even in attack, 5'5" is like in a big league, in a physical league, it would be interesting to see if that's something that he could hold up to. Yeah, he is a good impressive young player, but that kind of size always scares me because you're always a little bit in set pieces. You're always a little bit disadvantaged at that point.
Would you say you're a little bit short?
Me personally, no, but I don't like it in my team.
You'd be left a little short.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I was just going to say, because also why you asked about the Brighton game is because I'm actually worried with being Potter's first game against his old club. Obviously, they want to probably perform, and it's at Brighton as well, where the atmosphere could be quite volatile. We're not sure yet. So I'm just worried that with our defensive injuries right now, are we going to be able to keep that clean sheet and to get us through the line? I hope we do. We do, but it's not the game I would like to have these injuries in, if that makes sense. I prefer to have Reece James, the Fofana, Koulibaly and Kante all be fit, so we had a strengthened side. That's
well, of
just
course, you'd always want that. Who doesn't want Reece James fit?
Yes, Wayne.
Yeah.
We'd all love to have a fully fit squad. That would be awesome for us.
But I can tell you this, Wayne. Since Tuchel left, I used to have horrible experiences during Chelsea matches. I mean, I get apprehensive and nervous since Graham Potter's come in. Just calm. I'm just watching the game calm. Oh, yeah. Oh, that didn't work out. Okay. I don't know what it is. Since he's come in, I've just relaxed. And so I'm not nervous during games. It just seems like we're going to, at this moment in time, we're going to do enough to win. And at this moment in time, that's all I care about is putting 3 points up on the board. And if it's 2-1, if it's 3-2, if it's 1-0, I don't care. I just want that 3 points. And we need to do this until after the World Cup.
Absolutely.
When you get your Fofana back and you get your Reece James back, when you maybe get N'Golo Kante back. And we're closer to January where maybe an Edison Alvarez is going to come in.
Yeah, if you're still within a game or two, like if you're still within, say, maybe 3 to 5 points come World Cup, I mean, it's anybody's game at that point. Especially if Holland does end up having it
5 points of what?
off the top of the table.
Are we
First
still
place.
talking about title? Are we still doing that?
I'm not talking about a title in October. You got to be out of your mind. Holland,
okay.
if Holland's got an injury, I mean, City are one of those teams. Like he's a pretty tough guy to replace for them in a long-term setting. Like they rely a lot on his goal scoring. So if he ends up having an injury, I mean, you never. Arsenal are one, two injuries tops from being completely average. If Odegaard were to get hurt, or say Xhaka or Partey, one of those two guys gets hurt, they're in a lot of trouble.
Oh, Arsenal are already average. They're overperforming. They're not involved in the title race. But with City, I mean, like they've won the league twice without a striker anyway. I just don't want to put that expectation on these guys this season yet.
Well, what are we right now? We're 4 points behind them.
I know.
I think we're even on games right now. I think they're 4 points. They're 4 points up on us.
I know.
I mean, if we stay right there till after the World Cup when we get healthy, then it's anyone's game at that point. Like we go on a winning run when we get healthy. You're right there. So
You just don't want to say. Prime just says he doesn't want to say it.
Josh.
He doesn't want to say it.
Josh. The maths is right. But as my friend Have Hope says, maths is overrated. I don't want to say anything yet. Just give it.
No, I'm just saying it's not. I don't like the City are going to win the league talk in October. I don't think that there's anything to justify that right now based off the table.
I don't think City's as good as last year.
It's better than me saying Arsenal are going to do it.
Well, I honestly don't consider that. Like right now, at this point in the season, even in general, even without the World Cup, the table is not something I'm even really looking at right now. I'm just trying to get results each week. I'm trying to build points. Obviously, you'd love to get healthy. You'd love to start to build some consistency and get 4, 5, 6 weeks in a row where you get 3 points. Because anything, listen, we know in this league anything can happen. There's games each week where it's just you'll get a crazy result. Big Marv,
how's it going, fellas?
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, doing good. I mean, just feeling good, watching real football. So anything but MLS, as it is.
Yeah. No, Scott.
Scott,
you're right. But like, I don't know. The past 2 seasons have kind of scarred me slightly. I don't want to say anything yet.
What a sexy voice.
What?
Prime, you've got a sexy voice, bro. I love it.
He says you're Barry White.
Thank you.
Sorry, guys,
No one's ever said that. I don't know how to respond.
I like it. It's a really soft kind of way. I can imagine you talking to a lovely lady saying bring me Rafael Leao, man. Bring me Leao.
He actually does say that.
What am I on? What are we talking about? Bring me up.
I think we were just bloviating at this point. What you got? You got a topic you want to talk about?
Well, let's deal with some of the comments. I don't know if you've talked about them already. I see Mo. Tuchel didn't use Chalobah and Kepa right, just like Lukaku, Pulisic, Havertz, Werner. Oof. I mean, how was using Chalobah right? I mean, didn't he play for Rennes a lot as a midfielder? I mean, so, he played him in the right position, didn't he? I mean, playing as a back two, probably not suitable for him. Using Lukaku wrong is just an excuse for being shit, not having that. Maybe true on Pulisic, didn't get enough on the left side, didn't get enough starts, the same as now, though, so I don't see what's too different there. How do you use Havertz? So, that's another thing. Maybe he didn't use Werner right, but again, Werner was bought under a different manager. So, if you build a system that wins you the Champions League, I mean, you're really nitpicking there. I mean, the best way to use Lukaku is ship him off to the smallest club you possibly can so he looks good and we make money on him.
That's why he sent him to Inter, right?
Fuck
Did
me.
you see the final numbers on his loan today? It was like 7.2 million loan fee.
I'd
I
have
think
taken,
that might have been in euros. So whatever is that on like 12? That might be like 12 million.
Well, all of it's the same right now.
I'd have taken 0, to be honest.
Yeah, right. Marv just wanted him out. He was a locker room nightmare.
I never wanted him there in the first place. He's ugly to watch. He's a shit player. He complains every time it goes wrong. He's done this all throughout his career. It was easy to say. I wrote it on my old Twitter account. I said, yeah, it'll be all good while we're winning games, and we start to lose, drop a few points, he'll start talking shit. And he did way worse than I expected with that interview thing. So
Yeah.
it's
In the first, like in your first year, yeah, I completely agree. But yeah, I think he's absolutely gone. I don't consider him any part of the team or future. So
yeah, we need to think about that. That's a good topic, isn't it? Because I know people have been talking about Cho playing well in his games, but there's no room for him, in my opinion. And even already we don't have a lot of attacking spaces, and Nkunku's coming. So we imagine that at least 2 are going to be sold. So Ziyech probably. And
hold on, I got to back up on something here. You said Cho's been playing good.
I say Marv, good is relevant because I think he has 1 goal and 1 assist in like 700 minutes this season.
Yeah, not in my opinion. He's not been playing well. But then I don't rate the player. I don't think.
Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely. I know.
No, I just. But the idea that this guy is actually playing well.
Josh, that's the same stats he gets at Chelsea. So he's doing the same thing.
Yeah. That's
and he's playing in the Bundesliga, dude.
And they're almost getting relegated. So you've really, I mean, people don't seem to talk about this enough, that the levels of which the players are playing seems to get completely glossed over all the time. He's playing a much lower level at the moment at that team where he should be starting and he should be racking up numbers. And if he was that good, he'd be getting more than like DRB and whoever else plays there. And he doesn't really. And that's concerning. It's the same thing with Tammy Abraham. He scores goals, but he's playing for Roma. The equivalent of Roma in the Premier League is, maybe Tottenham, maybe a level below that. That's not good enough for a club, what we're aspiring to do. It's not good. It's not as good. And this is why.
Hey. Respect Roma. They've won a trophy. Respect Roma.
Yeah, sorry. They won the Conference League. Fair enough. But even then, we're looking at the players we've let go. That people are always saying, you shouldn't have let these players go. Fikayo Tomori looks all right at Milan, but the Italian league level is not so high. Like Milan's equivalent, the equivalent of Milan is not Chelsea. The equivalent of Chelsea doesn't exist in the Italian league because the Italian league is a lower level. And we keep coming back to, there's no room for players like Cho at the club because Kunku's come in. We want Liao, I hope. Those are the level of player that we need. And we can't invent spaces for players that don't deliver just because they played at Cobham or wherever else. We really need to dive into that more, I think, in terms of when players are let go. Okay, yeah, maybe De Bruyne, maybe Salah, they did well. But apart from that, we have let the right players go over and over again.
And Salah, and to be fair, Salah and De Bruyne didn't do it for a while, especially Salah.
Yeah.
Because if you watch Salah at Roma, you think he would be doing that in the Premier League?
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
So again, I think that they were just late bloomers. And sometimes, look, if you're going to run that, if you're going to have that many quality players, and look, all the players we're talking about, and you think we're trashing, they're still quality players. They still technically trained properly because of the system they went through, and so they'll always look better than the average player. But there's a level at Chelsea that we should be aspiring to. And unfortunately, not everybody from Cobham, just because they went to Cobham, will end up in the squad. And you can look at Tomori. What did he do when we played against him this year? He looks suspect as hell.
He's bad in the air. He was bad in the air when he played for us as well.
Yep.
But there's one player that we haven't mentioned that I think I do regret that we've got rid of, and that's Salah for Bayern Munich.
But we didn't have the choice with that player. Like he chose to sign a deal and he left.
They corrected me on that too.
That's a different type of situation because, he went and so did Tariq Lamptey, who I liked as well, and Tino Livramento, who didn't wait for his opportunity. They're in a different category, I think, because I think like they had 1 year left on their deals and they just left. I would have kept all 3 of those.
Yeah, but we weren't given the option to keep them.
Yeah, that's
So
the problem. That's the point. Yeah,
No, Jerome Musiala is fantastic. That kid can play.
yeah, he's
Mhm.
right.
If Cho was doing what Musiala is doing at Bayern Munich, where he is now at Leverkusen, then you could think about bringing him back. But he ain't doing what Musiala is doing.
Yeah.
And I'm saying I'm using them because they came out of the same academy and they're around the same age, even though Musiala's younger. Musiala's the truth. Cho's a lie. That's the end of that debate. You know, it doesn't need, look, again, Cobham doesn't mean you play first team football. And in the new system they're putting up, you're going to see a lot of people come into because they're going to buy smaller outfits. There might be players that never make it to Cobham. They go through those teams and end up in Chelsea, and players that go through Cobham end up at those teams because the system, the way they're doing it, and the why they're wanting to have one in Brazil is so they can build a Brazil team and then farm them into the good enough ones to Chelsea or to a higher tier, and you keep all those teams relevant. And so, you know, the point of talking about Cobham will really be at an end here soon because you're going to want finished product at Chelsea, not those trying to be a finished product. Those would go to a smaller team until they're deemed ready to be given a shot. If you don't like that plan, we can sell you. You can go elsewhere. And you will lose gems at some point in time because you're not going to be 100%. Nothing's ever 100%.
As long as we win.
Yeah, as long as you're winning.
And we do. So, you know, are they truly misses if we've won? It's like, you know, that's the point.
And you look at profits as well. Look at the profit levels.
Yeah, and that's what it's about, making money. And I know people don't want to hear this, but all modern sport is about the money you bring in. All modern anything is about the money you bring in. Even church now. So if you don't know, now you do. Can we draw Liverpool in the next round?
No, you can't draw a team from your own country.
I think, yeah, it's not the next round, it's the round after. Not the 16, it's the 8. You can draw any team.
Yeah.
So
it normally works out the same. Normally, it always seems to work the same. If you get drawn against a quote unquote shit team in the first round, you then get a hard team the next time. It seems to always work the same. So remember last time we had Atletico, the hardest team. And then who did we get after that? Like Porto or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Not a shit team, obviously, but favorable.
We could get Porto again this year. I think they're going to be second in their group. Maybe they're first.
We need to just avoid who is the other, like there was 1 or 2 good teams that are going to come second. We need to avoid them. Can't remember who we had as potentials.
Well, Liverpool's coming second, but we can't draw them.
We would like, we could get Porto again, couldn't we? We could get, let's have a
Inter Milan.
Yeah, Inter.
No, Inter Milan, they're terrible. They're actually, they're not good.
That's an easy game for us. We could get Porto, Inter, Sporting Lisbon. I would love that. Or we could get Leipzig. We don't want that. Dortmund, acceptable. Bum team. Or Benfica. It's pretty favorable.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I'm not worried about the next round.
Me neither.
And that's not going to happen to the new year anyway.
Yeah.
And so our squad will look totally different because you'll have midfield investment in January. That's already happening.
Yeah, but it has to be high quality. We can talk about that. I want to let the other guys talk more than me, but I keep going back to the fact it needs to be quality.
Now, Mark, we love to have you talk, man.
Thank you, brother.
That's why you're here. But no, look, it seems to be Alvarez in the wintertime. That just seems who it's going to be.
Not a fan.
I've been hearing about this kid Alvarez. Is it Alvarez that plays in Benfica?
No, it's Enzo Fernandez. I think.
Enzo Fernandez. You're right. I don't know anything about him.
Me neither.
It looks like he's a deep line playmaker, from what I understand.
Well, his stats come out quite well. His metrics looked good. I haven't watched him in play. I watched one comp, so I couldn't really say I've got an opinion on him. But maybe someone like that I would prefer than out. I mean, I've watched the last couple of games of Alvarez, and they've been pumped 3-0 plus every single game. Is that someone who is protecting the defense? Not for me.
Wait, Enzo Alvarez, is he a DM?
Apparently so.
Like, I haven't watched him, but like,
Yeah,
someone put in the comments in the stream saying
he's Argentinian.
No, he's Mexican.
Someone was talking about he's the next Lampard or whatever.
Oh,
Enzo
God.
I haven't watched
Fernandez.
him, so I don't have. Yeah, I know nothing.
Oh,
about this.
sorry. I thought we were talking about Alvarez there.
Yeah, Fernandez is. He's Argentinian.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about Alvarez. My bad. Continue.
Yep. Look, I like I said, I have not seen the kid play. I think he's 23, 24. Is that correct? And I've never seen him play, so I don't have an opinion on him. I could say his numbers looks good, but that is in the Portuguese league. Yeah. Hope he's not another Bruno Fernandes. Somebody who came out of the gates and now is just garbage. So, fair play if he's that dude and we can get a defender and a playmaker all in one, I'm all for it. Because there's not too many of those in the world. We had a chance. We missed out on one. So we're sitting here with Jorginho again. It is what it is. You can really put some of the stuff down to the board, but Tuchel's complicit a little bit in the transfers, and it ultimately it would help led to him getting sacked. One of the reasons why he's no longer our manager and can go to India and see a Indian guru to try to, I don't know, get some feng shui in his life. I don't know what they do over there. Probably not even the correct. I think feng shui is Chinese, by the way. So
yeah,
there you go. That shows how much I know. But it is what it is.
Enlightenment in their life.
Yeah, I don't think we should be bringing in Declan Rice either, because to me he's Alvarez, but English.
He's much better than Alvarez. Alvarez can't carry the ball. Declan Rice can. Alvarez's one-on-one seems pretty average. Declan Rice is pretty good. Neither of them are overly great at progressing the ball, but I think that Declan Rice can adapt to that a bit better. I think the problem with Rice is two things. Number one, he doesn't drop deep for the ball to collect it in deep areas to start moves, and that's how we play. And number two, the price is ridiculous. So no one is paying 100 million. I'm not paying 100 million, and I'm a fan of the player. I think Rice is really good, but I'm not paying 100 million. No way.
I've just realised who Marv is now. Just when he's been talking, I just realised who he is. He's Roger Rabbit.
Why am I Roger Rabbit, brother?
Because you can't stop talking the same as Roger Rabbit.
Sorry, fellas. I'll let you guys jump in.
I'm joking.
No, it's cool.
I'm joking.
You're right about Rice. Like, I don't know. It's weird for me. I'm someone who spoke about Rice about like 3-4 seasons ago, when all Chelsea fans hated him. I was like, he's very good. I would like him at Chelsea. Quality DM. Now, I'm conflicted because one, the price tag is extortionate. I don't want to pay anything more than like 60, and even then that's too much. And two, I'm sick of player stands at my club, and I don't want players that are divisive. That's a big reason, or part of the reason why I want to get rid of Mount and Havertz. I don't like the player stands around them. I want to get rid of Jorginho even as well, even though I like him. Get rid of all these player stands. That's why I bring in Rice. As good as I think he may be, I don't want to have to deal with the player stands because I don't think it's going to be worth it. But
big up Charlotte. Charlotte Strong TV. All right. I just saw this, and I don't know if anybody's aware of it, but Amari Hudson has traveled with
Yeah,
Chelsea to Brighton.
good.
Who?
Amari Hutchinson.
Okay.
He's the kid we got from Arsenal, who transferred from Arsenal to Chelsea.
Really
He's been
good.
in good form. He has been in good form, but I'm surprised he's going.
Probably to make up the squad.
Might be a good idea to give him some minutes and see what he can do. Sometimes a live wire can really, really be good. But I do agree on the player stands thing from Prime. It's the only reason why I would be less positive about Rice, because I know that if he has a bad game, everyone's gonna just ignore it. And I felt this. I felt that player stand culture with Lampard when we had Lampard. Like every time the football was dross, you just had people saying, "Oh, let's stick with it until we're relegated." Or whatever. I even heard a reputable podcast that I love saying they would be okay with finishing fucking 10th. I mean, come on, man.
Marv, I was hearing Chelsea fans say I'd get relegated with Lampard.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I was like, "Not me, no way." And I've been a fan.
This is why I like when I hear stupid things like that from our fan base. This is why I say things like "Fat Frank." This is why I'll openly make fun of some of our players, because I don't. The stand culture is so much that I have to go against it. I'll say things like Chalaba's a bum, even though like I don't think he's that bad. Just to annoy his stands. I'll get onto Mountain Havertz even more just to get out of his stands, because they're so. I don't like it in my fan. We're not a team like Arsenal who don't have anything to cling on to. So they'll do a player stand for a Saka or a Martinelli. We're not that sort of club.
Yeah, that's
We're
true.
much bigger than that. We shouldn't have to be dealing with player stands.
Well, I can honestly say, I mean everything I say about Callum Hudson-Odoi. That is not just to get under their skin. It works both ways.
True.
I just think he's awful. He's an awful footballer.
The hype people give Joe. How do I word this? Amari Hutchinson is the player people think Cho was, and he broke through. Amari's actually good.
Yeah, he is good.
He's actually good.
I want to see how that translates to a proper game. But I think he's got skills. So he's definitely worth a try. I mean, it's the only way you'll find out. But
Have you watched his game yet for under-23s?
Yes,
I haven't.
I have.
I haven't.
He does look decent. He does create a lot of opportunities, but I worry that are we following the same footsteps as Hudson-Odoi? Is he becoming that sort of player? And that worries me, because I don't want him coming up too early. I think he's still got a lot to learn, especially coming from Arsenal to Chelsea, which is a different mentality. So saying that is it Cesar Casadei, the Italian?
Casadei.
I think he's an absolute brilliant player, but I still think it's too early for him to play for the first team.
Yeah, well, I don't think he's going to play. I think that he was brought up this week in probably training to fill in for the lack of players we have in the squad right now, right? You can do all the drills you need to do, whatever. And it's probably a reward for playing well in the under-23s. And so now he gets to travel to Brighton with the squad, which is another new thing for him. He's never traveled with Chelsea before, to sit on the bench and be a squad filler. Now, on the odd chance that we blow Brighton's doors off and Potter wants to go ahead and rest as many players as he wants, he could see the field with Chukwuemeka and whoever else is on the bench. But I don't think that Potter took him with the idea that we're going to get this kid on the pitch. I think it was more of a reward, a learning experience for him, kind of a step that you need to take. That's the way I see it. I don't think they're looking to, but it's neat to see somebody succeed, right?
Since we bought him, right, Amari, because he came from Arsenal, I did the whole making fun of them stuff. We've got your best talent, yada yada. But I actually looked into him, watched some clips and stuff, and I watched some games. This guy's very good. He can play on both flanks. He's played 10 a bit.
And 10, yeah.
Apparently, can also play wing back, which
No.
I don't believe that to be true at all. But like, I want to see him given some time. It'll
He
probably
has
be
played
after the
wing
World
back
Cup.
for Chelsea.
To be
But-
fair,
but-
he's not gonna. To be fair, he probably won't play until after the World Cup, which is fair enough.
It will be.
But
It's
I want to see
exciting.
him.
It's exciting
Yeah.
to get one of those in. I think, like, because obviously he's been playing so well, and let's say you're 2-0 up, you got 10 minutes left, you throw him in, he has a few good moments. It can only be positive, I think. And I'm looking on the comments. Charles Strong TV. I wonder if that's the person I blocked because she hated on Rudiger about 3 years ago. It reminds me of the same name. I don't know if it's the same person, but I remember her insulting Rudiger, and 3 years later he's
Oh,
won.
that's an Insta block.
Yeah, it was. It was an Insta block.
That's an Insta block from you.
Well, it's an Insta block when people tell me Zuma is better than Rudiger. Automatically, it makes me know that they're stupid. So it's it's a point. I don't know if it's the same person or not, but it reminded me of someone called Charlotte. I don't know if it's the same one.
Most likely it is. Thank you for that. I appreciate you, Marv.
All good. Honesty is the only way. Everyone gets a new chance. Since my account got banned and I got a new one, everyone gets a new chance to prove
Wait.
themselves.
Your Twitter got banned.
My old one got banned. I got
Under the previous regime,
yeah. I
all
got,
hail the leader on high, Mr.
So-
Elon Musk.
I got banned for saying Conte needed to get punched, and even on this one, I got banned for posting a GIF of someone clapping, whilst somebody said black and mixed race relationships are attacking black culture. I reported him for racism, and Twitter didn't do anything.
Oh, because it's the wrong kind of racism.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, someone said what?
A person that because I talk a lot on boxing Twitter as well. There was one guy who's always just like super biased towards black people, and he said to me for specifics, he said that mixed race relationships are an attack on black culture, which for me I just found unbelievably offensive.
Is he American?
Yeah, it's always the American ones. Always them.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Well, no, but like, actually, I don't want to say what I want to say. I mean, political, but yeah.
Well, they think MLS is as good as the Premier League. If you coach in the MLS, you know everything.
Hey, God.
Sorry,
Marv's out shooting skeet today, man.
popping those
I've-
plates.
I've got a brand to protect, so I mean,
Yeah, my brand is that idiot from America. That's my brand. Although I can honestly say I'm not American. I'm Texan.
Texan, let's get those steaks going.
Because
Yeah,
if you know, you know.
I work guys come get me for my birthday for tomorrow and Saturday, Sunday. So,
Happy birthday, Wayne.
Hey, Wayne.
but thank you guys. Big up. Have a great weekend, guys, and enjoy
You too.
yourselves. And
You
hopefully
too.
we'll win and keep it going.
They're gonna win for you tomorrow, Wayne.
Thank
Good luck,
you.
bro. Have a good day.
Thank- Bye.
Bye.
birthday. Peace.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
What happened?
Yeah. No, just reading tweets. There's always stupid people. I mean, if you didn't think low of humanity, go to Twitter. You will.
I can't
I
find
mean-
anything.
So it is what it is, though. But yeah, I don't have any fear of Brighton, especially they're not the Brighton that we saw earlier this season. I don't think they've won a game since the turn of the month. I think they won all their games in September. Sometimes, because your team is together, you come out of the gate strong. With bigger teams that have to integrate more parts, they start slowly. And so, yeah, some of the smaller teams played well, but they're gonna revert to average, to the mean. They're gonna revert to the mean, and what you'll see is the same teams that are always fighting it up for the top of the league, and the rest of them are going to be where they're going to be. It's it's a matter of talent they have on their team and the depth that they have to survive injuries, because every team has those injuries. What do you think about that, Marv?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, what about the injuries or rotation?
No. That certain teams started out very well, and now they're
Yeah.
they're gonna be what they're gonna be because of the squad, the level of the squad, and the depth in it.
Well, it happened to us last season. We still managed to fairly manage with quite a lot of injuries, even. But if you look, Liverpool got a few at the moment, and they're not dealing with it well because outside of their 11, they're not too strong. Arsenal, they've got a good 11. Well, I mean, they've had a nice run of it, but I think, soon the tears are going to taste sweet with them. They're not going to be able to maintain, because when your replacement for Martinelli, Saka, and whoever else plays, like Gabriel Jesus, is Edward Nketiah, you're in severe trouble. So, or whatever his name is, he is absolute shit.
Nketiah.
Nketiah, absolute shit. So, yeah, it is true. Like, it is a squad game, and some of the smaller teams will struggle even more. And it kind of goes under the radar. I remember when I've been to some games and they've read, and I feel like I know a lot about football because I've watched it all my life. And I'm at Chelsea, and it's Chelsea Sunderland in 2010, and they're reading out the team sheet, and about 7 of the Sunderland players are like, who the is that? So, and I was like, I didn't know all these players were injured. Sometimes it goes under the radar for a smaller team. So yeah, I think this is where we will gain strength a little more, because I feel like our squad is quite strong this season.
Yeah, I think so too. I think other than right back and maybe DM, we have a fairly strong, capable squad. What do you think about that, Prime?
I think like teams, they can. It depends how you start. You can peak at different times. I think, for example, because we mentioned Arsenal, I think they started the season quite well, but they've been mostly overperforming. And as well as when you factor in Chelsea started poorly, United started poorly as well, and I think City dropped a few points in their opening games. Yeah, that'll be enough for them to make top 4 or not, I guess is yet to be determined. But I think it's mainly just about that, and seeing like our depth is, I guess, quite similar-ish to last season, meaning the only problem is right back and I guess probably midfield in the DM area. But other than that, it should be still enough for us to get top 4. Again, with Arsenal outside their 11, the quality really starts to lack. But like when you look at their Europa League games, I don't watch Europa League, but I've done some panel shows and stuff having to talk about other teams. So when I look through their 11s when they've played in Europe, a lot of their first 11 plays, the likes of Xhaka or Partey or Gabriel, who isn't that great, or Saka or etc. These guys start games or they get subbed in the like 60th, 70th minute, and that's a lot of game time they're playing, as opposed to a team like Chelsea, where say someone like Chilwell can play quite a few minutes this season, even though he's not a starter, or Gallagher's played quite a few minutes under part of the season, even though Gallagher's not a starter. We've been able to actually kind of use our squad, which will be vital in the running at the end of the season when there's a lot of game time being forced in, FA Cup games, seeing depending how far we go in Champions League as well. These guys getting game time will be important when you're playing games 2-3 days and you're having to rotate and everyone's fresh and fit. Same with Man City as well. People are talking about they're not necessarily that great this season, but I look at the way Pep's played them and the fact that all of their players are getting equal-ish amount of game time. It's only going to serve them to be quite strong in the end of the season in that run-in when they're playing so many games a week that they're going to have to rotate and everyone's going to have to be firing on all cylinders. So I think we'll be fine. It's going to be interesting how other teams fare up. Look at Spurs. They don't rotate, but that's a Conte issue.
Yeah.
It's a Conte thing. And, I don't expect Spurs to go far in any cup competitions anyway. So Conte, they'll probably get away with it and get top 4. Liverpool, I think most of their problems is just down to is kind of down to Jurgen Klopp being naive. If they just switched, look at the way they played against City. They dropped that high line. They were a bit more defensive, and they got a result out of it. If Klopp just changed things slightly, I think they'd be fine. And I still say after the World Cup, they'll be fine. Yeah, I don't know. Chelsea, will be the minimum I'm expecting from us is top 4. Not really expecting us to win a trophy this
Failure.
season. What's failure?
Top 4 and nothing is failure. It's not good enough.
Oh no, I know it's not good enough. But I'm saying the bare minimum.
The bare minimum should be to win something.
Yeah,
Well,
I agree. But I don't know what Potter is like in these cup competitions when it
Sure.
matters.
But we've invested in a team that won trophies in the last 2 seasons, so there is really no excuse.
True, but I also don't trust these guys.
No,
That's
me
the
neither.
thing.
Well, I think that I've changed the way that I see things since I was younger. I don't know how old you are, and I'm not condescending you in any way, even though you're probably quite a bit younger than me. I'm not saying that. I'm not dismissing your opinion because I do agree with you completely. What I mean is when we were, firing managers in the past and this stuff happened, I used to feel like, and it's what some of my friends on here say, that, the players are terrible. It's what I used to think a lot of the time. And then randomly they'd turn up and win trophies. And then I think, oh, maybe it was the manager. Even though I do back most of the sackings, I've only not backed maybe the Jose one, mostly, and the Conte one, but the rest I was pro. And so I think that we've invested in a team that was already good. And yes, we lost Rudiger. We did lose a great player there, but we bought Fofana and Koulibaly. They're both good players. I think that our squad is good enough to win a trophy. I'm not sure. For me, it doesn't matter which one. But I do think the players are good enough. Yes, there is, the attack could be better. The creativity could be better. But I don't think that we are inferior to anyone but City. And they're not going to win every trophy.
Let me clarify what I mean by that then.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I don't trust the forwards to put our chances away.
Yeah, I think that's fair, to be honest.
That's what I mean by kind of like in the crunch moments. And I get what you're saying. Like in the past, I believed that the squads and stuff we had in the past, where if we sacked a Conte, or not a Conte, we sacked like Ancelotti or something, I would be like, you know what, fine, whatever. The squad, we're still great enough to get away with it and bring in someone and continue winning. But I don't trust these forwards in front of goal to put our chances away, for one, and two. Potter for me is just kind of like an unknown variable, where I think he's good enough to get us to top 4, and the squad is good enough to get top 4. But like in a crunch semi-final or crunch final, if Potter pulls off a masterclass tactically, do I expect our forwards to still put the chances away and win? No, we got to 2 finals last season, took it to penalties, where we lost, and we should have won the game in 90 minutes, if not for the fact of Mason Mount missing chances and the others missing chances. Like, this is the sort of stuff I'm talking about. I'm not.
Yeah.
Until we get new forwards, I can't put my house on us definitely winning a trophy. And I know it's. I agree with you. It's failure because of the standards of what Chelsea is, but it's also me personally being realistic of what these guys are.
Can I add to your point? Because I think that you mentioned there about whether or not Potter is the guy for crunch moments, because we haven't yet seen it. Was Tuchel before we hired him? I mean, if we're looking at what had he won before, the German Cup, and he did make the final with PSG. Yeah, fair enough, but they lost. They didn't win. They lost.
Yeah, but I trust. When I look at managers, my rating systems, I rate tacticians very, very highly, and I rated Tuchel as a tactician. Sure, you can say unlimited.
Yeah.
Unlimited. What's the thing? Unlimited time span, or whatever you want to say, whatever the wording is. But I'd seen Tuchel as a tactician that there's something that I rated, that if we got to any big stage, that he would be able to, I guess, get us over the line in some sort of way. With Potter, I just kind of haven't seen it yet. However, if that happens this season, if we get to like if we get to the semi-final of or actually not even that, we've got City coming up in a few weeks in the Carabao Cup. If we play
need to
that
win
game,
that.
if we play that game, Potter pulls off a masterclass. Even if we lose, at least I can then say, you know what, I trust Potter to do something, and it's just up to these bums to put their chances away.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue, I think, that Potter is a tactician. I mean, his XG is always higher, which is a signifier that they create more better chances than even some of the best teams. I did a review on this a while back for Brighton. That's for Brighton. I mean, he was overperforming with that team. So and so far, if you look at the team so far this season, like how many goals? We couldn't have conceded that many goals since he taken over, like 3, 4. With also no losses. I mean, I think that's tactical. I think the fact that he set up our team sometimes with one in the middle and sending the centre-backs a bit wider, I think that's also quite a tactical idea. He put Sterling at wing-back, didn't he, at one of the games? I think he's tactical. I think that he definitely has that in his locker. But I do agree with your point about not trusting the forwards to score in big games. But, I mean, Havertz did it. I mean, in 2 games, I mean, he's not an amazing player, but he does score in important games. He scored in quite a few previous last season. He scored in Liverpool, scored in obviously Champions League final, scored in the Super Cup, not Super Cup, the other final. So, you know, I think it is there. I think that the problem that it was becoming under Tuchel, and it has been the problem for many years, is that we just don't score enough goals. And I think that is largely due to the fact that we don't create enough clear chances and we don't necessarily have killers. We don't have enough goals in the front line. And the ones that can score more goals don't play. For example, I mean, even if I don't really rate Ziyech like that, but he does score and he does pop up with important goals. He certainly did. If you look at the semi-final, Champions League, the quarter-final, he scored in the Super Cup game. He scored in the FA Cup semi-final. He scored the winner against City. That's a kind of big game player. He doesn't play. Pulisic creates the most chances in the team per 90. He doesn't play. So I think as well, selection is the issue. I think if we're thinking about the Man United game, it was crying out for Sterling, Pulisic and Alba. And he stuck Mount there again on the wing, which just does not fucking work because he doesn't create. I do rate Mount. I think he's a good player and he does score occasionally, but he doesn't create any chances apart from corners, dead balls. You don't create enough chances. So we have a few problems with that, yes, but I do feel that overall the team is good enough to win a trophy. I think that the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, even the Champions League is a potential for us.
All right. Well, we've been going for quite some time, and I wanted to wrap it up on this. I apologize, but I've been on for an hour and 37 minutes. So
let's go.
and it's getting down to be dinner time. So somebody's hungry. I'm not hungry. I'm hangry. You know, that's a combination of angry and hungry. That's your hangry. There's another Southern word. I'm just trying to teach you some Southern.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to get Tuchel first season vibes. And when I mean first season, when he first came in, as in us winning the Champions League.
Let's get it.
So, and I'm not too far off from saying we're legitimately challenging for the Premier League.
I don't. Listen, the sort of person I am, like, I need to feel it to say, I know what you're saying. And yeah, I need, okay, let me not speak because I might talk myself into
now I can't go.
Prime.
Yeah.
You know, if we win the Champions League, there's much more chance that Leal's going to be interested in coming.
Oh no! Hey! Listen, he's coming anyway.
I hope so.
You don't disappoint your father, man. He's coming anyway. He's coming.
His father? What's that? What's the deal with that?
Oh, he's my son.
Yeah. Okay, my bad. Well, I really hope so. I think he transforms the team. Like, I know you love him. We won that. You said something there, a word I don't really like in the previous thing you mentioned, being realistic. I have to say that winning the Champions League in 2012 with the injuries, the cards we had against Bayern, that wasn't realistic. I even think that winning this one that we just did was not really realistic, considering we were up against the team that everyone thought were going to destroy us, and we beat them. I think we don't deal in realistic at Chelsea, I think.
I know. That's the weird thing about being a Chelsea fan. But, like, yeah. I mean,
We might have to
let's
stretch.
play City. After we play City, you and I will have a conversation. I'll let
Yeah.
you know what I think.
Definitely, that's the time. But I think we can do it. We've got a good team, good squad. As long as we beat the teams we should. And the Champions League, if we get a favourable draw, let's say we get a nice team in the knockout the first round, we blow them out. We end up with, let's say, one of the lesser teams that won. We might get lucky, like a Porto or a Leipzig, and we're in the semi-final. Then anything can happen. Anything can happen because we're a good enough team to compete.
We can
Yeah,
win
that is
any
true.
one-off game. But hold
That's
on, we have to
true.
give him his introduction. The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Carlito. What you say?
The king of Chelsea media.
Oh, I didn't know you took that title.
No, I didn't take it from anybody. I gave it to myself.
Oh, okay. Continue.
Yeah, we got Arsene Zakarian flat out saying, no, I'm going to Chelsea. Other people want me. I don't want to go anywhere else. Going to Chelsea. I didn't get the summer move. Made me really pissed. But in January, I'm going to Chelsea. So I love that. He wants to be here. Is he good enough to start? I don't know. We'll see. Is he better than the Minerals? Probably. It's not that hard.
I'm running overtime because you wanted to come on.
Yeah, well, I hope
need
that this season serves as a referendum on Mason Mount, and everybody sees how average he is.
Well, I need you to bring some prime rib right now.
Wow, I mean, you already have prime, but it sounds like he brought rump roast today.
No. I'm saying I'm going overtime, brother, to bring you on. I need you to bring the fire, bro.
Okay, all right. Well, first question. Is Edouard Mendy going to be sold?
That's an easy yes.
Marvin, prime?
Really depends on how he does when he gets his chances again, I think, because if he picks it back up again, then there's no reason to go and buy one. We've already bought Slonina, so why would we, maybe if Kepa keeps up this form, that we've saved ourselves some money again, rather than if Kepa goes bad and Mendy doesn't work out, we'll have to go back into the market for my first choice is Diogo Costa. I think he's a phenom at the moment, but it's somewhere we don't necessarily need to spend. Kep's been great lately. Definitely wasn't his fault for that goal against Man United. And I think we'll have to see what happens with Mendy.
I think Mendy.
Okay,
the World
sorry,
Cup,
Prime. I didn't mean to interrupt. My bad.
No, that's cool. I think the World Cup could be, if he goes to the World Cup at Senegal, they have a good tournament. I think his stock will rise back up a little bit, and you could potentially get a good price tag for him. Maybe being sold in January, or if not, then definitely end of the season. I think Kepa is good enough to be first choice now until the end of the season, or maybe even wait another year until you can get a proper goalkeeper. Marv mentioned Diogo Costa. I haven't watched him. I know a lot of Chelsea fans are kind of raving about him. Haven't watched him, so I don't know.
He's good. He's good.
Is he available in the summer?
I don't know.
Every Porto player is available 24/7.
Well,
True.
I do have an update
That's
on
true.
They're in, aren't they, Marvin? They made it, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to come second in their group. They smashed. They won like 4-0, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Club Brugge is coming in first, aren't they?
They are quite an undervalued team. Noah Lang, I think he got injured. I think.
Yeah, Noah Lang.
I like him.
Yeah.
Matt Ball turned me on to him.
Coming back to the Zakarian.
And Marv did.
Yeah. I mean, coming back to the Zakarian thing, I've done some digging and found some interesting stats on him. In terms of the passes that I like when we're talking about creativity, which is the through passes that go through the lines, which are on Twitter are called the line breaking passes. Apparently, he made the second most line breaking passes in the league last season, which was 46, which is quite impressive.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Because, to come by, one of those every game is pretty impressive in and of itself. If you're doing it more than once per game, then you got some good vision.
Yeah, I like the idea of Zakarian. I think that this would be a nice midfield signing to make.
So on Costa, apparently, according to his agent, he's been reserved for Man United.
Oh, fuck off. No, not that shit club. They can't have no one.
Jerry, what did you say? He's reserved to what?
To Man United.
Reserved?
That's what the tweet said.
Reserved? Okay. What did they slip the maitre d' at 20 or something?
Hold on, let me
Just
see if
in
I can find it
advance.
real quick.
Okay, tough guy. Okay.
I thought United wanted what's his name, Mike Magnon.
No, I don't think they can get him.
I still don't see why a big club doesn't go for Nick Pope. Nick Pope's good.
Well, he's at Newcastle, isn't he?
I was talking about a big club.
Oh, but Newcastle ain't getting anyone out of there now. They Newcastle.
I'm kidding.
But they are a good club, though. They've got a very
they
nice
are.
support. Yeah, I mean, if you live in that city, like everything is about the football. It must be a nice area to live.
Dude, their fans are awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
On Tyne or whatever, that's what the city's called, Newcastle.
Fine,
on
yeah.
Tyne? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, great fans. Next question, because I actually agree with both of you guys about the Mendy thing. I think that we're going to sell him because he's a good shot stopper. He's very tall. His feet are just bad. I mean, before, I don't know, maybe he just had a series of good passing games, but no, man, the sample size is substantial enough for me to say with confidence his feet are bad. And we can't have that because we're a modern team with an extremely modern manager.
It comes from the Manchester Evening News, by the way.
Oh, that's reliable.
That's fart noise, bro. That is doo-doo butter. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
It's going to be expensive too. I saw the price tag like 60 million euros.
Yeah. All right, next question, Marvin. Do we give Mason Mount a new deal?
Well, I mean, that's a two-part question, I think, because if it were up to me, I would sell him because I believe there are.
Me too.
I mean, I don't dislike the player, but I think that he takes up positions that he doesn't do enough in, and that's just my opinion. But I would retain him, but not for ridiculous wages. It would have to be low wages and not anything around the area of 200K a week.
I mean, bro, if we're going to be playing with a number 10, and we know Connor can do that. Connor's not a very good, like, holding mid in a 2 or anything like that. Like, that's not his thing. No. But if you give him that space where he can be the attacking midfielder, he's quite good. Now, do I want him to be like some long-term starter? No, I don't, because I also think that Christopher Nkunku is actually going to be the guy that they look for to do that. So if we have him, we have Connor, and we have Arsene Zakarian coming in, and we have Carney Chukwuemeka. Dude, I don't see why Mount is even considered in this. And I'm not saying this is some notorious Mount hater, even though I am. I'm also saying this because I don't see the fit.
Yeah, that's how it is. And I was saying earlier that there's no spaces in the attack for certain players like Cho and whoever else, because we should be aiming high. And Mount, unless you're going to play with a 3, I don't think Mount should be in the lineup. But I guess a lot of coaches disagree with me because they pick him, which is fair enough. But just in time for the slander. Okay, the Beautiful game. Firstly, slander is telling lies about people. Slander is not an opinion. My opinion was that I would choose to tell him because I believe we can do better in those positions. Not that I don't like the player, not that I do not rate the player. I think he's all right, but I think that we could get good money. I wouldn't renew him for anything near to 200K because I don't think he adds enough value. It's a simple opinion. It's nothing about hate. I'm fucking English, for God's sake. So, you know.
Nobody hates Mount. We just think he's okay. That's it.
Exactly.
He's just the guy.
Good player, not great.
I think with Mount, the thing is with Mount, like, I've always said, if he cannot be your starter in a championship, a Premier League winning team. However,
he can't.
As a squad player, I think he's quite good. Like a squad player coming off the bench, one of your options in a Premier League winning midfield, fair enough. The thing is, though, the status he's at right now, in terms of in our fan base, how he's viewed in England, I don't think that will allow for him to be a squad player. I think him being on our bench, like if Potter was to put him on the bench from now, say, until the end of the season, and we were to go through rough patches, Potter would get abuse from our fan base.
I don't know if he would get
because
abuse from
of this
Todd Bowley, though. I don't think he would get abuse
No.
from Bowley, though.
No. But Bowley is different from what our fans would do. That's what I'm saying. Our fans would go onto Potter's back,
Thank
whether
God for
rightfully
that.
or wrongfully, they would. The thing is,
Thank-
though, like, I don't know. It might just come down to the thing of, will Mount be okay, like, being on the bench? Even if there's someone better than him playing, will he be okay with that? I don't know.
We've already
Will he
signed.
put- will he-
We've already signed somebody better than him.
Who?
Nkunku.
He's way better.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, true. No, yeah, true. And
Well,
Nkunku is probably coming in January. But I'm
we're
just saying,
in-
will Mount be
No,
okay
no,
with
I don't
doing
think it'll be
that?
coming in January. Hold on, wait a minute, Prime.
Yeah.
If we pay more, Jester, I don't know if that window's closed on him, on us getting Nkunku even earlier.
Oh, I wish that would be so good if we got.
We
him in
would,
there.
Marvin. We're talking like 20 million more. Like we would really have to pony.
I
But
want
if
him
you
now.
if you measure that versus how much we get in Champions League, like look at it within this context. Barcelona missing out on the round of 16. There was the metrics were done, and in 2021, when they went to the round of 16 and crashed out, to Bayern Munich, I think it was that 8-2 aggregate. They made it $85 million just for giving Bayern Munich the pleasure of whooping their ass. They got 85 million out of that. So for us to look at this and say, if we get to the finals, which I actually think we will, I do, because I think this is a team like the one, like when I called it in November of 2020, this is a team that wins Champions League, because in a one-off, when we're good, we're extremely good. And oftentimes games like this are a one-off. But if we measure up how much we'd have to pay for Nkunku versus us winning that trophy money, it's just, dude, there's no comparison. This is a no-brainer. We go for it now.
I already said that I have the feeling of Tuchel's first season when he came in and we won the Champions League.
Yeah,
I think we're going to do the same.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think if we can get Nkunku, if we could get Nkunku in now, I mean, I keep saying I actually do think that we slightly underrate the squad that we have, because I think we had a shit result at the last weekend, but I think are largely down to team selection and other such
Just
things.
line up, Marvin. Just
Yeah.
line up. I mean, look at it this way, dude. If we have Fofana and Koulibaly in, and we have Reece James, okay, and Conte is an option, even though I shit on Conte, like him as an option is still really good for a big game, because he's a big game player. Dude, you put come on, man. If we're healthy, of course this team's really good. And then you add players like, even though I know you don't rate him as much, if we for depth, we get an Alvarez in January, we get an Nkunku in January, we bring in Arsene Zakarian in January. Fuck yeah, dude, that's a really, really, really good team, especially for a big game one-off. Absolutely.
I think that we haven't yet seen the ceiling of what the team can produce, so I think that's all positive. I mean, and by the way, sorry to interrupt, but all these players that we're talking about, they would all be really good under Potter. The ones that haven't been allowed to play yet. Yeah, I think so. I definitely think so. Hopefully, we do something in January. I'm hoping that we do. And also, back to the previous thing we were saying about that. Thank God Todd Bowley doesn't do what a lot of people on Twitter would do. Fuck's sake, Wes, because he's actually successful at what he does.
Oh, Bowley doesn't give a fuck, man. He does not give a fuck.
But what I was saying with Mount, I think.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Sorry we interrupted you.
No, it's cool. Like, I think when some of the players in our squad, when people talk about, like, for example, like with Jorginho, we've made reservations towards him in terms of our system to protect his deficiencies, etc. I think we've also kind of done that with Mount. The fact that we've had to force him to play, like, we've had to force him into play in the team no matter what, regardless, when, we probably could have played a different way, a different formation, or a slightly different system. If he was on the bench, probably could have benefited us.
Yeah.
But no, he has to play in the forward line. But yeah, people say he's not a forward, or he's not good enough to play in a double pivot. So, like, what can we really do with him? I don't know. I think just with better players, naturally, it should mean him being on the bench. If he wants to leave, I'm not going to hate him for doing that.
Prime is nowhere near as athletic as Carney or Conor Gallagher. Like, if you want to play in that position, you better be substantial at something. Like Gallagher,
No,
for all of his
doesn't-
deficiencies, like Gallagher is an awesome athlete. And I mean, he's quick, and he can really get stuck in. He does all these things. Mount is just such an average athlete that, like, anything that he wants to do, it's going to be slowed down because there is nothing impressive about him physically at all. And then you look at Carney or you look at Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and it's like, oh my God. I mean, there's the athleticism, there's no comparison. Kovacic, athleticism, there's no comparison. And then you look at Christopher Nkunku, who's more athletic than all of them. And the athletic I don't mean it in a pejorative sense. I mean it as on top of the fact that these are also fucking good players. Like, that shit matters, bro.
I have an announcement real quick before we continue.
Charles,
I
come
just
back.
ordered a pizza, and yes, it does have pineapple on it.
I mean,
And
it's
so
just,
when
that's
that
just so
shows-
soft. That's so
Whoa.
soft. That's just so fucking soft, Jared. I mean,
And so when it shows up at
dog,
about
you
6,
just been kicked out of the barbecue.
That is the show of pizzas, really.
Oh!
hey, don't hate on pineapple on pizza.
Pineapple on pizza is for the not so nice people.
You know that's one of the most popular toppings in the world.
Marvin, did you hear him? He says, hey, don't you be hating on pineapple on pizza. Well, guess what? Guess what, homeboy? I'm going to be hating on pineapple on pizza because I ain't from motherfucking Hawaii.
Oh my god.
Wait, Jesters, did you say it's one of the most popular toppings in the world?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you did a poll outside Stamford Bridge, majority of Chelsea fans would make Mount captain. What's your point?
Yo, he got you there, Jared.
My
He got
point
you
is
there.
that you
I took
You
a poll.
don't-
Actually, I took a poll recently, but then it resulted in some really angry scaffolders.
Yeah.
wow. Or Ryan took a poll, but he didn't tell us which orifice it fit in.
Hey! Boom, 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 boom. The answer is all of them, baby.
Wow, same poll too. Huh?
Hey. Zing.
Hey, there you go. Zing. I just wanted to make that
Oh,
announcement.
fuck
so.
you. Now I'm going to order a pizza. God damn it. But it ain't going to be no
Oh, shit,
goddamn Hawaiian.
I want one now.
Yeah, no, I'm going to do Detroit style, y'all.
Oh
That's what's
yes. The Detroit style is so sexy. We've
Oh,
got
it's
one.
great.
There's one in London. They've got like a place called Detroit Pizza. It's amazing.
Yeah, they do. So, you know what's interesting is this was obviously originated in Detroit. And what they used for the pan, it was this blue steel pan, and it was a pan for lug nuts because the previous iteration of the business was an auto body shop, right?
Oh,
And they left all these pans out, for lug nuts and for fucking all this bullshit, right? And the person looked at it and goes, God damn, that could be used for pizza, right? And so then they did it, and it became, the crispy burnt ends, and then the sauce on top. So like an inverted piece of the sauce on top of the cheese, and that's the way it became. It became this by accident, and a lot of things become themselves by accident. It's an interesting observation.
It's interesting. Actually, also, coming back to the Blue to Full Games comment, he said, what's that? What happens when we sign his best mate? Well, that's the thing. Whilst I'm not a huge Mount fan, I do like Declan Rice. Actually, if you ask me which DM I would want, he would be high on the list. He would probably, just not for the price.
Yeah, I mean, behind the Frankie de Jong, of course, right, Marvin?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Who's possibly now available again?
Yeah.
Since
Well,
Barcelona didn't
Barcelona
make it to the next
wants
round.
them. No, Barcelona wants Jorginho if Frankie de Jong comes to Chelsea.
I would make that swap all day long.
All
and
day
twice
long,
on
baby.
Sundays.
3 times on Sundays, Jared. Boom.
Well,
He told you one up me all the time, man.
Ooh, yeah, I just did, bro.
At
Fucking
least
4 times. 4 times, Joe.
At least
No,
we know. At least we know we potentially have excitement to look forward to in January. Whereas in the last, I love Roman, God, best owner in the world, but sometimes you were just left frustrated with the lack of activity. Sometimes I feel like Todd Bowley's a kind of really like give me the shit now kind of guy, so I really like that.
Yeah, I mean,
He's going to win stuff this year.
Yeah, I mean, look at what I think the Dodgers are going to do right now. I mean, look, World
They're out of
Series, it's Philly versus Houston, right? And Todd Bowley's looking at this going, okay, get me the best player in America. Oh, he's a free agent? Oh, he just won the home run title? Oh, he just won the MVP? Hey, get me him.
Did they get eliminated? The Dodgers, right?
So the World
And
Series,
the
the World Series is fucking Harper versus Verlander, bro. Yeah.
It's my dude's the Astros,
Oh yeah.
which,
Bang those trash cans, dog.
hey, by the way, only team that's named after AstroTurf. And the Astrodome.
I need to know. I need to learn more about baseball.
It's an amazing game, dude.
I watched a couple of games,
It's
and
boring as hell.
I was surprised by the fact that almost everyone strikes out. I didn't expect it to be like that.
There's two reasons why. Number one, the pitching is the best it's ever been, and number two, everybody wants to hit a home run, so that's the way they swing. Small ball is a thing of the past, with the exception of a few teams.
Well, I thought mainly they struck out just because the women's were 10s and the men's were like 5.
But I was about to say it's like me at a nightclub, striking out.
It was prime. We're surrounded by morons. So fuck. Let's get back to so the Jorginho thing. Yeah, I mean Jared. Yeah, I would do it. And Marv. So my overarching point is this: like, yeah, I think the Dodgers are just going to go out and sign Aaron Judge. That's the point. Is that I think Boley is like, yeah, fuck it, dude. I'm going to go out and get the best players I can. Guys like Nkunku. I mean, Nkunku just won the MVP in Germany. And it's not a fluke because, dude, Marvin, I know you have too. Dude, we've been watching some Nkunku lately.
Yeah.
He is really good.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
We talked, actually, I don't know if you remember, but we talked a bit about him the year before.
In passing, we did. Yeah, we did.
And I thought he looked like a player that could kind of, one of those ones that drop deep, always release the ball the right time, good passer. But he's even better than I thought he was. I've been watching the recent Champions League games. And, he reminds me a lot, actually, not like Malouda like I initially thought, but more like a Firmino.
He plays like Bobby Firmino.
Yeah.
Yep. And look, we had talked about earlier this season, you and I and Jared had the conversation of like a top of the line 25-year-old Bobby Firmino would essentially be perfect for Chelsea when he was 25 and what he did, because he wasn't the highest player on the field. He was, he played beneath, the wings, but, just really was mobile and sort of connected the dots and, was always the guy that got the ball, to start the whatever. And I just feel like Nkunku is definitely going to be one of those. He's just this flashy, wonderful, brilliant, technical, quick, explosive, creative player. And I'm here for all of it, man. And on top of that, the guy's got fucking style. Look at him. He's a beautiful, stylish, black, awesome man. I love everything about him. Yeah, great hair, fucking style.
Yeah,
so he carries himself so well, and I just love it. I love it.
I love the rose. I love it when the players have the corner.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You know what I'm talking about, Prime. You know what I'm talking about, man. It's a beautiful black man we got coming here, dude. Come on now.
Prime plays with his hood up, I think.
Wait. Hey, beautiful black man. Are we talking about Liao?
Oh, him too. Yeah. Oh, yeah, now we're talking.
Liao is 62 though. He's long, he's tall, he's fast.
He's almost like I was equating him to LeBron, just with like that type of athleticism, that type of power. That is some LeBron stuff within our context of our sport. So,
well, I would rate him maybe higher than LeBron, maybe a Michael Jordan.
Thanks, Jared. Thanks for that contribution, dude.
Just let you know I'm still here. I'm a LeBron hater, by the way.
You with that flaccid pizza to go along with your flaccid takes. Well done.
That's all right. I'll take Michael Jordan any day over LeBron James.
I'm with you, man. I was
on Sunday. MJ is the greatest of all time.
Oh, the GOAT.
I think most rational people will agree with this.
Of course.
Well, if they're over a certain age.
Yeah. Jared, they had to be probably 30 because they would have had to have seen him play.
But LeBron's great too. LeBron's great too.
Yeah, different. Way different though. Way different.
Well, LeBron is. Basketball is one of your sports that I know fairly well. I wouldn't say I know the others as well as you guys would do, but he reminds me a lot like Scottie Pippen. Actually, when I watch LeBron, he looks a lot like Scottie Pippen's style of play to me.
Yeah. And he's the same position as Scottie Pippen.
I love Pippen is probably my second best player ever after Allen Iverson.
Oh, I got to go with Kobe on that one, man.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh, Kobe was a killer.
Killer. It's all about attitude, dude. For Kobe, his attitude even preceded his skill.
Amazing. He used to get up. he used to get up at 5. I remember he used to get up at 5 a.m., do all his training. And he used to say that because he did that an hour or 2 hours earlier than everyone else, by the end of the year, he would be years ahead. It's like the atomic habit system.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a good point. Yeah, check out Showtime. Muse, Kobe Bryant Muse. Go watch that shit.
I will watch this, but I'm feeling a bit apprehensive about that network because of Showtime, we don't get so many of the best boxing matches.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
By the
I was just
way,
thinking about you, Marvin. I walked out of my shower last night, and ESPN
he thought about
was on.
you.
It was late night. It was late night, so I'm walking out of my shower. I had left the TV on. It's ESPN late night, and there was an old boxing match of Vasily Lomachenko, and I was like, "Fuck, this guy is so good." But yeah, I don't know. He kind of crashed. He kind of crashed and burned a little bit, man. He's
been fighting in Ukraine.
He's fighting tomorrow, actually. Loma's fighting tomorrow.
Yeah, that's why they were showing it last night.
Yeah. What channel is it on?
I've got ESPN Knockout here, so for me it's a bit different. But he's that will be on Top Rank, so I think. But Loma, if he wins this fight, he should be getting the fight with Haney, but I think Haney will duck. I don't like Haney, but
so the preview or the review was a top fight cross promotion. That's what ESPN was showing last night.
Who was he fighting?
Dude, I can't. I just caught the tail end of it, but I was like, oh my god, this guy. If he didn't fight like 300 million amateur fights, should have been pro earlier.
The best one is against Guillermo Rigondeaux. Is a really good defense.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I love all the crosstalk with cross pollination of sports, but let's get back to Chelsea just for a second. No, I do though, because Lomachenko was
awesome.
Man, when he was 29, he was just fucking unbelievable.
Crazy.
Yeah, like weirdly good, strangely skilled. So Kukurea tomorrow. What are we thinking, guys? Because I went with, we did a stream. Sadiq and I did a stream earlier today, where the lineup we went with is actually the lineup that I had thought of was Kappa. It was 3-5-2. Kappa, Chalabut Cheeks, Silva, and Mark Kukurea on the back. Wingbacks, Raheem Sterling, Christian Pulisic. Central midfield is Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Kovacic. Attacking central midfield, Conor Gallagher. Up top, Kai Havertz and Obama Black Yang. And that's what we went with. And I actually think that that's what we should go with.
We're not going to that.
We literally did that formation and that lineup a couple days ago.
You're up against Salzburg.
I don't care.
We're playing against Brighton.
Right, but Brighton would have to Brighton would also have to play us.
Yes, that's how that works. That's how you have a game.
What I'm saying is that is an attacking lineup, and if Brighton doesn't tweak their lineup to be more defensive, then we will eat them alive.
I think your favorite player will play tomorrow.
Kova.
I didn't know Kante was back yet.
No. You're sarcastically best favorite player.
I love that you can't do that to me anymore because both of my favorite players got loaned.
Joe
and Lukaku. I'm so glad I don't have to.
I think Aspie's playing tomorrow.
Fuck you. I will not watch the game. I will not watch the game.
You know, I did not give that invitation out, so no.
Yeah, don't test me.
Let's see what they pick. I think they said when Brighton was manager of Brighton that actually they struggled to predict the lineups. So I mean, I think it might be the same way for us. There'll be a one or two surprises in there, possibly.
Yeah, I think one dude, Mark. I still think he's gonna be Carney. I still think Carney could be one if it's not Gallagher.
I hope so. I love Chukwuemeka. I want more of him.
He's fucking good, dude. Yeah. He's fucking good.
Oh, yeah. Did you hear that Amari Hutchinson traveled?
Oh, there's a youth that I actually like.
A
little youth player. That kid Marvin. You've seen a little bit of him, Amari Hutchinson.
Yeah, we were talking about him a bit earlier, and I think that he's a live wire. It's something that I would love to see him get some minutes because
I can imagine him playing a bunch of different positions.
Yeah, he can play across the entire front three. So
100%
flexibility there. I like the player. He's too good for the level he's playing in right now.
Yeah, agreed. So, Jared, is that confirmed? He is going to be on the bench?
Yes.
Wow, and he's Jamaican. You know that?
I don't care what he
Well,
is.
no. I mean, it's interesting because Raz is actually Jamaican as well. Wow, I love that. I just fucking no. I want a cosmopolitan group of players. I don't want everybody to be from the same place and look the same.
Yeah,
I want
same.
everybody. I want a cornucopia of everything. I love
Yeah.
that Jamaican player. That's awesome.
Like we had in 2004, we had a nice African contingent, British contingent, French contingent. We had
Yeah,
nice mix.
yeah. It's important, man, because I think that every country, every race, everything, everybody has something to offer that is just different than what everybody grew up with. You know, I mean, if your whole team is fucking English, it just doesn't. Then they're just going to play like a bunch of English players. Like I want a variety.
Like
this
in
is
the-
cool. This is
Yeah,
cool.
So poorly.
And if we only go English, the quality dips. I mean, that's I'm sorry to say that, but the quality dips.
yeah.
Mm,
And to be fair, I mean, Amari is from England, but I do like that he plays for Jamaica.
Well,
So-
yeah, and did you know that actually the word politics first appeared in English around 1460 as a title of a book by Aristotle?
Politics. So was he referring to it as the body politique?
Possibly, yes.
Yeah, because that's a phrase. Aristotle. Yeah, anybody that's ever
A phrase is a fruit in Spanish, isn't it?
I'm not big on Aristotle, but I do know who the big Aristotle is.
Shaq Diesel. Come on, Kenny man. Come on, Kenny man.
He did call himself the big Aristotle.
That's what I'm
I
gonna
would
do.
like to be referred to from now on as the
In
big
every
Aristotle.
In every stream, I'm just going to hit you with a random fact every time now. It's
That's
gonna be
nice.
one of
That's
them.
nice.
Hey, that's great. Hey, let's learn why we have fun. You know, I am not opposed to that.
Oh, Omari, he represents England. He plays under 21s, no?
No, he has got a cap for Jamaica.
Yeah, I'm
This
pretty.
year.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
certain he played a game for Jamaica or
Yeah,
two.
in May. Yes.
Jamaican
I
me
really
crazy.
wanted to call him a fish and chip merchant.
Yeah, fish and chips would be nice.
I don't know what that means. By the way, merchant. This is another word that's been appropriated by Twitter patois. I don't like it.
No, I used it once, right? And I know.
Oh, you just use it again.
But I noticed that a few of the English lot got a bit rattled, and I found it funny, so I just keep using it for English words.
I can't even find him on.
Are you English, Prime?
No.
What are you?
He's Irish.
I grew up in Ireland. but Nigerian born.
Wow.
I got it. I've got your brand, the Black Conor McGregor.
Hey, Prime. As much as I am an American, both sides of my family are also from Ireland.
Oh, nice. What part?
Oh man. So
The drunk part.
it's Macomb. No, it's Macomb. It's Macomb and Murphy. It's not Dublin, but it's outside. It's outside of Dublin.
Well,
I can't
like-
speak on it, but definitely both Irish.
Like Drogheda.
Let me get back to you on it.
Well, Prime, I'll tell you something. Like both sides of my family are not Irish. Yeah. How about that?
Fuck you. That's all, you asshole.
Are you English?
I'm a Heinz 57.
I'm English, yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely English. You can.
Wait. What? Are you from Boston? Or that part of area?
Me?
Your family? No, your family.
My family's from the Northeast. Yeah, absolutely. My brother had lived in Boston for a very long time. So did my dad. So my dad is from the Northeast. My brother lives in the Northeast. We're actually going to be moving back to the Northeast. I also went to college there. Once I finished up my graduate degree. We're all from the Northeast. We're all Boston Celtics fans.
Yes, he is. Omari Hutchinson is with Jamaican national team now. He was with the English national team.
Well, you'd think he'd get selected.
Well, you would think that, but Gareth Southgate runs that program.
The other thing is that he was with Arsenal, and it's just
We said Jamaican the team. I think it's pretty obvious they'd make the team.
Well,
that's excellent, sir.
that's just a dad joke. It's just a bad joke.
Yeah, I know.
I think you
Jamaican
Jamaican. So
Well,
no, I
actually,
like that though. I like it's cool though that he gets to play on the bench. It's dope. I like it.
Yeah, got new business as well, selling exotic birds. They're actually flying off the shelves.
Jesus Christ.
Right, let's get on with the football. Come on.
Let's go. Let's get back on track. So, and again, I have to stress this. I don't think anybody on this panel is play the youth. Play the youth. Felix Johnston, play the youth. Like, we are not those people. But I think that it's okay to assert confidence when the player is good enough. Players like Carney, players like what Reece James used to be, players like this guy Amari Hutchinson, who just seems to be transcending the label of a youth academy player.
Yeah, I'm
Hold
not.
on. I gotta bring this up because I've about had it with Man United and their fan base.
Shit club.
Why in the hell does everybody that as a Man United supporter have a YouTube channel has to come out and say something about Anthony's stupid fucking showboating during the game that led to nothing?
Who actually cares either?
Who cares?
And no, that's another thing. But their manager, their greatest manager that they all love to talk about, would have yanked his ass off the pitch and benched him for probably a month for doing that.
I just don't give a shit.
So where do
it's
they get off?
It's because pundits like what Robbie Savage and stuff were speaking on it, then United fans got triggered. Like, whatever, it is what it is. The show part and stuff looks cool, but I'm of a thing of like, if you're doing that in the game, and yes, fair enough, Man United still won, so we know, but if you're doing that in the game and you're killing the attack and you end up losing, like, what's the point?
Yeah. I mean,
especially
I gotta be honest with
if
you, like,
United get to a final and he's doing 360 spins and they lose,
Well, here let me retort by saying I basically spent my 20s playing futsal, and not just playing futsal, but playing futsal with everybody that's not white. All right, so I spent a lot of time with doing this shit and fucking around, but that's futsal, and that's inconsequential. If you do it in a game, and if one of my players did that in a game, well, I'd be kind of pissed. But at the same time, I don't know. I mean, what can you do? They paid $100 million for him.
Well, I just number one, I know everybody oohs and ahs over Tech.
No, but it's not. But that's not hard to do. What he did, dude, that's not hard to do. I can do that with my left foot. That is not hard to do. So get the fuck out of here by everybody thinking that that's some fucking sick thing. It's not.
I could do it with my left foot too. I'd probably just fall over and break my ankle.
Nah, dude. You work on it for 30 minutes, you'd be able to do it. It's not. It's not hard. It's total
I can
bullshit.
do it with my dick, so I got you.
Oh shit!
I got nothing against Flair in the game. I mean, I think, but
but that's just stupid, Flair. That's stupid.
It was yeah, it was completely stupid. I don't see the point of it really. I mean, but you're playing against bums in the Europa League. I mean, come on, like there needs some perspective. We talked about it earlier. Like, when Rashford is scoring consistently against you, something's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta. I mean, everybody's just gotta pick their battles, and you're in the Europa League, man. Maybe have a little bit more humility, considering all the money you spend. Like, let's be more workmanlike about. I don't know, maybe winning it, so it'll always guarantee that you'll be in the Champions League, even if you don't get top four.
Let's see if he can do that against Barcelona in the next rounds.
If he did that against us, I'm pretty fucking sure Reece James would kill him.
Yeah.
So good luck. If you try, just please, Anthony, you know what you should do? Try that against Reece James and see if he doesn't take that as disrespect.
Well, if you did it against back in the day when I was growing up, or when probably you were watching ball back in the 90s and the early 2000s, he would have a broken ankle.
Yeah, but again, I just don't because it's United. Because it's United, that's what I meant when I said I don't care. Because it's United, I just don't fucking care.
No, I just had to bring it up because I think it's stupid. You have to try to make yourself relevant as a club.
Well, I mean, he's got so many fucking zits. I mean, he's got to make sure everybody looks away from that. Jesus Christ, clear a cell, dog, clear a cell.
Clear a cell.
You are a millionaire. You should handle that. Good Lord.
Yeah, I mean, those kind of players are going to get exposed over time.
By the way, he's not bad. He's not bad though.
He's all right. He can score goals and he's got skills.
Marvin, you know where he'd be better? At Chelsea. But I just don't think he would start.
Well, I think he would. I think he would be okay because he's not bad at isolating the opponent. But I mean, I don't think he's amazing, but he's good.
No, he's not bad. He's not bad.
Yeah, he's good at isolating the player. I saw that, and he's not bad at kind of bringing it up and in. But yeah, I mean, I would prefer
right foot.
Yeah.
He only has a left foot. He has no right foot.
There is just no right foot there.
Yeah, I tell you what he's going to do. He's going to fake to the right, go inside.
I have to get going now, fellas. I've got to go,
All right,
fellas.
See you, buddy.
Nice to see you all.
Later.
All right.
We'll be wrapping it up here soon because food's on the way.
That's what she said.
Hey, well, she was smart because if you wrap it,
don't be a fool. Wrap your tool.
Mm-hmm.
Fan wild there. All right, Prime. So let me ask you this because it's a hotly debated topic, but it's a player that I really like. And he scored a goal that very few people can score. And that is Kai Havertz. I'm a huge fan. I also think that people that don't watch off-ball movement, people that are, fans that are only focused on, the immediacy of what's going on within the 10-yard radius of the ball, they don't really see a lot of what Kai does, but I do. But that's from years of having to orchestrate games as a coach. I get it, and I know that I keep bringing that up, but it is relevant to this point, and that is that I think that Kai does a lot of things that people don't see if they're not willing to see the forest beyond the trees. And I think that he's a really good player.
I don't know. I disagree. I don't. Maybe it's just he's just not like suited to the Prem. He's not physical. He's not consistent in terms of like scoring or assisting goals. And even now, lately, all the like him working hard, I don't even see him doing that anymore. And to be fair, if it's a thing of like he's kind of checked out of it and he doesn't want to be here,
I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case.
Okay. Well, I don't know. It's just like I kind of want him gone. And it's not even necessarily just about him as well. Like again, I said this earlier before you joined. I'm sick of player stands at our club.
That's fine.
And the Kai Havertz stands, to be fair, you're not one of them, but
no. I'm making when I talk about Kai, I'm making fun of the player stands.
No,
Kai vitamins.
Stands,
like I'm joking. Like I'm joking.
When we played on Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
On Wednesday, I was getting phone calls from Chelsea fans who are meant to be my friends, who are Kai stands, ringing my phone for about an hour, saying, "Oh, Prime, why won't you pick up? Why won't you pick up? Are you scared? Why won't you pick up?"
That's really weird, by the way. You should tell them to not do that, by the way.
No, but I was like, you know what? Cool, fine. I've got a bit of time out of a break. Cool. I'll sit down. I picked up the phone. We started talking about Havertz. I was like, why? I was like, all right, cool. He scored a goal. It was a great goal. It was kind of fluky because I don't see him really doing that consistently, but cool. It was a great goal. I can't take anything away. And he was like, how can you say it's fluky? Yada, yada, yada. And I was like, whatever. But like, I don't care about the goal. His performance for me, I don't think was necessarily that great per se.
He was pretty good.
And also, I'm just not going to get gassed on just the one game. I want consistency. And it's not anything I have against Kai. I want this about all these players, just consistency.
But Prime, I have to push back when I say that I don't think that the lot prior to Graham coming played really well at all. And I think that if you look, I'm not a player stan, although I love, Kovacic and Reece James. If they were sold tomorrow and we won Champions League, I wouldn't bat an eye because I value. No, but what I'm saying is that I just feel like he's been blamed unnecessarily for some of the things that are beyond him. And I don't like a scapegoat. I don't like a scapegoat.
Oh, he's not my scapegoat because I don't rate the vast majority of the squad. So everything I'm saying about Kai would apply for the majority of the other players.
Such
I'm
as
sick and tired.
No. Tell me.
Such as you can name
Aspie.
any.
You better fucking say Aspie.
Aspie's going to be gone by the end of the season anyway. You can include Mount in there. Jorginho, who I even rate, you can put him in there.
I do rate him. Go on. Let's go rat a tat.
That's my point.
So no. I want more.
No, but I want to finish my point of what I was trying to say.
Okay, fair enough.
Anyway, and they kept on just being annoying and stuff, and I was just like, what is the point of this conversation and stuff? And they were like, oh, well, Kai, he just scored a goal, you're mudded, yada yada yada. And I was like, whatever, who actually cares? And then someone was trying to bring up, but what if Kai is going through something personal in his family life? And I was like, is he going through something? And I was like, they were like, oh, but you don't know, he might be. I was like, okay,
that's a crutch. You should not. Prime. Let me interrupt you when you say no, but when I say fans cannot use that as an excuse.
I know.
You cannot use that as an excuse because guess what? If he actually is going through something, instead of them just saying it, what if he actually is? And by the way, I don't think he is. So you just saying that, it actually betrays the situation when someone actually is going through something.
I know. I know because I'm getting to that. I was like, is he? I don't why is that a point that I should kind of care about? When Kepa went through bad form and he was going through mental health problems and his girlfriend broke up with him, Chelsea fans laughed and just said he should suck it up. When the Lukaku interview was terrible and he shouldn't have done it, and rightfully he got called out by Chelsea fans. But when he got racially abused, you guys, specifically the ones I was talking to, you guys just laughed and said he should man up and accept it. And Jorginho's got abuse from our fan base. So many players have got abuse from our fan base. Why should I care about what Havertz is going through when no one cared about anyone else? I don't care. But if what you're saying is true, and Havertz does have mental or family problems or whatever, then he needs to be taken out of the team and he needs a break for the sake of his own health and Chelsea's progress as a team. Because either way, they're both being affected. And because I was like, I've been through stuff myself. It's not good using that as a reason if it's not true, if that's a genuine reason. And then they didn't have an answer back. So they were just like, oh, but how do you know Lukaku got abused? What do you mean about Lukaku? He was shit, yada, yada,
yada.
He
got abused. Lukaku got abused big time.
I know. And I was like, you know what? Whatever. I don't really care about talking about Kai. Is there anything else you want to speak about the game? Or is it just Kai?
Okay.
And they didn't have an answer. And I was like, cool, let's end this conversation because it's annoying. But yeah, if you want me to speak more about players I want to get rid of.
Yeah. Well, no. Before you do, how old are you? How old are you?
24.
Okay, fair enough. And that's actually where I thought you were. But you're a very smart guy, and again, you are always welcome. Anytime we do stuff, I love you, Prime. You're a smart guy, so you're really cool. And no, I mean it because I don't fuck around with stuff like that. But my whole issue is that number one, if abuse and getting shit on are different things. If you're getting shit on because you had a bad performance, you just kind of got to eat it. But if you're getting when it becomes the N-word or bananas and shit, that's where I'm like, oh, buddy, you're crossing the line because now you're criticizing someone for the way that they look as opposed to their performance. And that's where it's just such bullshit. And, I know you're a black man, and I'm sure you're a proud black man. I'm sure you love the way you look. And for me, it's just how someone looks, it doesn't fucking matter. It shouldn't fucking matter. And yet you're bringing it up. It's just I'll never understand it. I never will understand the otherness that comes with that type of hatred. It really fucking weirds me out because this is about football and it shouldn't be about that other stuff. If this is about football and you're getting criticized for football, that's fine because that's what the money is for. That's why you're getting paid 100K a week, 150, 200, 300K a week. That's what the money is for. If someone says, yo, you played like shit today, it's all right, well, I probably did, but I still made, 150 grand a week. So maybe I'll just do better next time and we'll be fine. That's fine, because getting criticized for being bad at football, that's part of the deal. When you get to that more, other stuff, when you get to that other stuff, that's where I'm like, this is not okay, and it should be eradicated from the game. A certain player this week asked for a lifetime ban. Vinicius Jr., whom I love. I think he's one of the best wingers in the world. Awesome player, great character. He asked for a lifetime ban of players that receive racial abuse from fans. And those fans that have exhibited that bad behavior should be given a lifetime ban from European football. I support that 100%. I support that 100%. But that is not what this is. That is not what this is. And for people to say blanketly that, oh, maybe Kai's going through something, you don't fucking know that. And for you to say that diminishes those that are actually going through shit. That diminishes what people are actually going through shit. No, I think Kai's just getting criticized because he hasn't been playing well. But that doesn't mean that he's a bad player, because I actually think he's a very good player. He just needs to find his spot. And I think Graham needs to find his spot within the context of Kai and this team. And if they can, then it will be beneficial to everyone. That's how I feel.
I mean, listen, I like to hope so, because you're a Chelsea player, so I don't want a Chelsea player to be bad.
No, of
and
course
hopefully,
not. Of course
hopefully he does, because that, like you said, it'll probably help us. But if he can't find his spot here for whatever reason, and this the same goes for other players as well, they kind of have to leave. And this thing Chelsea fans want to do of, if he goes, he will be like De Bruyne, and I'll be like, we've sold so many young players that were supposedly talented and supposedly special that the majority of them have turned out to be nothing. I don't have a
the odds,
fear.
right? The odds are just
And
but here's the deal though, Prime. You do have to say though, Nagelsmann and Pep both want Kai.
I know,
very clear about this.
That's what. But even if he does end up being special somewhere else, I don't really care, because for one, there's no guarantee he could even end up being that at the club, because you just don't know how things are going to go with us, for one. And two, if we end up being special ourselves, it might not be a thing that we miss Kai. If we still continue winning league titles and continue winning Champions Leagues, who cares if Kai is a special player somewhere else? That's my thing of, if he's going to do it here, that's great. If it's going to be elsewhere, so long as we're great, it doesn't matter to me.
Well, I mean, a lot of people are just going to say that this is the Salah KDB thing. I have to look back and say, when we made those decisions, neither one of them were good enough to play for Chelsea. And that was the right decision at the time. And that is the last I ever really think about those types of things. I just don't, I'm not going to negatively reminisce about what could have been with Salah and Kevin De Bruyne. It just, look, at the time they weren't hacking it and we let them go, and that's just it. Oh, a player got better? Well, congratulations for the player getting better. That's great. It has nothing to do with Chelsea, because at the time you weren't good enough, and that's it. So that's just it. That's just the way I look at it.
All right, gentlemen, I think we're going to have to wrap it up. My pizza's almost here.
You fucking dick.
I know. But I do want to say,
Jared,
wrapping it up, that I'm glad Todd Bowley is our owner, because
Me too.
Newcastle is about to protest because the country of origin of their owners did something they didn't like. So we did not need that at Chelsea.
What happened?
They executed, Saudi Arabia executed 81 men in one day before Newcastle's last match. So,
you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah. But of course.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, that's I'm reading it off Twitter right now.
Wait, what happened?
Newcastle supporters are planning to protest against the club owners when they host Chelsea at St. James Park.
Wow.
Saudi Arabia executed 81 men, the largest mass execution in decades, the day before the clubs last played.
Was there a reason for the
that's all I got.
Okay. There's a lot more to unpack there, but man, when you get in bed with the devil, don't be surprised if he's got horns.
But guess what? I hate to tell you that we're equated to be just as bad.
Not. What are you talking about? We just washed our sins away. What are you talking about?
No. When you don't have to be actually guilty of anything to be executed in Saudi Arabia. Okay, let's have it correct. There's certain things, activities that you could be involved in that are frowned upon.
Yeah, no. You can get executed for lifestyle choices. And
Yes.
That's, by the way, just ridiculous.
In the United States, you're given a trial, and it's
No,
very
not for
few
life.
for being executed. There's very few people that get executed for things anymore, and usually you deserve that shit.
No. I mean, I don't
Hey.
really want to get into this, but let's just say that the United States has a particular animus towards stuff like this. Something that happened 20 years ago. So, anyways, moving on. Okay. Well,
So I just want to say I'm glad.
No. This could potentially become actually a big story. So,
Yeah. So I'm glad that we don't have to put up with that. Not to say that their owner's bad or anything else. I'm just saying, as a Chelsea fan, I'm glad we don't have to deal with that crap.
well,
Hey,
I would
missed the
prefer that we
controversy,
no,
man.
I would prefer that we covered this as it unfolds, Jared. Not gonna lie, and it doesn't have to be on here, but it can be on our podcast with Matt. I do want to cover this.
Okay.
By the way, if Matt can do it, I want to do it every Sunday. I want to.
Okay.
I'm serious because you're fucking great. The show's fucking great. Matt, I adore Matt Ball. So, if we can, if you can, I can. And, it's really him, but if he can do it, I want to do it.
Yeah, I'm available every Sunday. I have a very sad life. I'm old and alone.
Yeah, well, and your
So-
takes fucking stink, but nevertheless, I still want
It
you
makes
to
for good content.
Oh, by the way, one of my best friends and my former podcast partner, and currently the guy that is running the merch side of my merger with Worldwide Chelsea. These people don't know, I bought half of that company with Sadiq. He's now my business partner, and so Paul is actually going to be running part of my end with Worldwide Chelsea. And so Paul actually wants to come on the podcast, Jared. Like a guest appearance, not as a regular, but as a
Hey,
guest.
dude, I don't control any of that. I'm a guest. They just
Well,
say,
okay,
Jared,
so
you-
what you're saying is it's my podcast, and I'm going to tell you right now that Paul's coming on, but the flip side of it is that he's got some choice words for you, buddy.
Oh, good.
He
It'll
does?
be fun. It'll be
Oh,
fun.
no, but that's why I love it, because he's like, this fucking hick Texan. I'm like, actually, Jared's awesome. He's like, this fucking guy. But
I love it. Let's go. I will wind
Yeah,
him
but
up, dude.
to be fair, he's also like one of my best friends. So if you get whatever you say, he's bulletproof, dude. He's bulletproof.
No,
He does
no,
not give
dude.
a shit.
That's fine, because dude, I love winding people up and
Oh
watching.
hell yeah.
watching
Well,
them.
the problem is that he's like super calm, and it's just like he's not gonna. Nothing you say is gonna phase him, but he's really pissed about some of the stuff you said the other day.
Hey, friend. It's all
No,
good.
it should be
It's all
fun. No,
about-
it should be really fun. No, well, I'll bring him on Sunday. Okay.
Sounds good. I'll be here.
Cool. Well, I know you will, Jared. Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go?
I know nobody wants me.
That's bullshit. You've had multiple kids, so someone at some point wanted you.
God, she didn't know about it until the 9th month. I'm just
I
saying.
mean, sometimes shit happens.
All right, y'all have a blessed night.
Yes,
We'll
sir.
see you again after the game tomorrow when we beat the hell out of Brighton.
We'll see.
And y'all have a good one, and we'll see you then.
Enjoy your pizza, you dickhead.
Yeah. Piece of these nuts.